Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman. You already know what time it is. It's time to draft some fantasy football teams. I've already jumped right into a Best Ball Mania. Let's get this thing started. I'm drafting out of the 9 spot. Tonight we're talking about pretty much which QBs are complete mistakes to be drafting in 2026. Which guys are overpriced, which guys have the lowest value over replacement, whether we're talking your redraft leagues, these best ball drafts, the QB tiers, you need to know them. But I've got to figure it out. I'm going to cue you in. I'm going to give you all the answers you need to make the best picks to win your drafts. So if you're watching this for the first time, if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit the like button. I'm going to throw a YouTube poll into the chat as well. And we're going to get right into this Best Ball Mania draft out of the 9 spot. How we doing, everyone? Happy Friday night. Okay, the YouTube poll that I'm about to post, essentially it's, who do you think is the worst QB value on the board? What's up, Adam? How we doing, my friend? Good to see you. Who is the worst QB value on the board? On an unrelated note, I am making it a mission tonight. I've got a mission. My mission is to draft Trevor Lawrence because I don't want to force it, but I'm in a good spot in the board right here. If I can get Trevor Lawrence to pick 81 or so, maybe pick 88 in the 8th round if I can push it. I need more Trevor Lawrence teams in my Best Ball Mania drafts. I'm underexposed. How we doing? Nice and Blunt. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to Nice and Blunt. Check out Adam's content. The dude goes live all the time. He's putting out great draft content and in-season content as well. All right, I'm starting the poll real quick. What's up? Edge Fantasy says, who is your QB1 this year considering ADP? Jackson Dart, hands down, easily my most drafted QB. I'm above 20% Jackson Dart, and I'm going to stay that way. Jackson Dart is going to win someone $2 million. Or at the very least, he's going to win you your home league, and I'm super confident in that. Jonathan Taylor. I have so much Jonathan Taylor. Let me do it again, though. I want to pull up my exposures real quick, and then, because otherwise it would have been Genty. I'm a little bit underexposed to Genty. Could have been Cook. I'm pretty underexposed to Cook. Underexposed to Barkley. But no, I'll go JT there. It's hard to pass up JT. Yeah, what about you, Edge? Who's your favorite QB, like at ADP? All right, the poll. I'm almost back on the clock. Let's do this. AJ Brown. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, AJ Brown seems fine. Take him over all these running backs. I think so. I'm pretty bullish on AJ Brown. Let's just do it. I mean, anytime you can take the alpha wide receiver 1, the best receiver that Drake May's ever played with in his career, it's going to be, and you're going to be exposed to the Josh McDaniels offense. Like, sign me up. So we get an out there. We can take Drake May if I have to in the 6th round, but I'm going to try to, we'll see. We'll let the board come to us. Adam says, drafted a weekly winners with only Dart and Winston at QB. Felt good. Throwing up the yellow Lambo. But yeah, that's crazy. To draft Jameis Winston in the year 2026. You're a madman. I love it. I can see the vision, though. I hope you had some Malik Neighbors on that team. Worst QB. Or worst QB pick. Is the worst QB pick. Let me try to think this through. I don't want to pick 2 obvious QBs that everyone hates. I want to pick 2 QBs that are kind of middling priced. So I'm going to say, and I can't do like Malik Willis. Everyone would pick Malik Willis. I'm going to pick Kyler Murray. No, that seems too obvious. Well, people are pretty in on Murray. Let's do it. I'm going to throw in Kyler Murray. Murray or Stafford. Who's the worst pick, Murray or Stafford? All right. Shout out to OSU Missy drafting out of the 6th spot. And that's about it that I recognize in this room. So we snuck into this Best Ball Mania. It's the first draft of the night. Feeling pretty good. Ready for a nice weekend. I'm going to hit the lake this weekend, have some chill family time, get a little sun, get a little, touch the grass, touch some water. Cool off with an ice cold beer down by the dock. Why not? Hope you guys are looking forward to wrapping up. The summer's coming to a close pretty quick. So get it in while you can. JT, AJ Brown. Of course we had neighbors. Hell yeah, I love to hear it. What's up, Hartman? The blue Lambo. How we doing, brother? Hartman and I were streaming last night. Just impromptu. I saw Hartman in the chat. I said, come on up. Let's get in on a draft together. We wrapped up a Best Ball Mania, and we went head to head in the Pitbull 2. Let me throw in some Zay Flowers. Mix it up. Jonathan Taylor, AJ Brown, Zay Flowers start. Jeff T. You started early. Who is this and what have you done with Chris? Yeah, I got done. I put the stream, I would have put it for like 9:15 and then been late. I could have put it for 9:30 and then been late. But I put it for 9:45 and then I'm early. Go figure. Central time, that is. Broke my mouse hitting the like. What's up, Pat? How we doing, brother? Good to see you back live in the streets with the hot player takes. When you said you had Jalen Naylor 40 picks past ADP and you still would consider, passing him, ball knower. Genius. A man who just knows the right picks on the board. Shout out to Pat, the fantasy dog pound. All right. Garrett Wilson, Javonte, Travis. I think I might just do some Javonte here. I'm a little skeptical of I'm a little skeptical. We just saw a nice season from Javonte. I'm skeptical because he's not a great pass catcher, and that's going to really limit his season total. We saw down the stretch last year. He wasn't that great, but as long as he's getting most of the carries, he has that workhorse role. If he does, the blue steam is real, but still not as much blue steam as we got last year. So I'll take some Javonte here. Just give me the Dallas Cowboys. I'd have preferred Josh Jacobs. Burden goes to pick 37. That's pretty sharp. Waddle at 38. I thought about honestly just taking Josh Jacobs at pick 33. But I'll take some Zay Flowers there. Zay Flowers is a guy that regularly gets pulled up in the early third. So I'll get him while I can. Plus, my Zay Flowers exposure, I'm right at the field. I don't want to pass on him too much. Same thing with Javonte. Ha! So true. The blue steam last year was a meme. I know. It got bad. It got real bad. But maybe this year. And maybe this year again for Marshawn Lloyd, another player who's steaming up right now. It's never worked before, but maybe it'll work this time. If Marshawn Lloyd gets injured in camp in the next couple of days or a preseason game, I'm just going to it's just too predictable. But I am going to be drafting some Marshawn Lloyd because as long as he's healthy, there's something there. Edge says, I like Hurts and Caleb considering ADP is crazy comparing to top 5. Yeah. You're not wrong. Traditionally, Hurts has been incredible for fantasy. He kind of dropped off in the rushing touchdowns last year, and his passing is abysmal. Pull up P-Wash, push P-Wash. Next pick, 64. Go Lamar. Go Tate. Go Tate first. Push Lamar. Fuck, P-Wash goes. Well, that's the end of that. Push Lamar. Back up Drake May. Get the rookie with the upside. I don't mind Watson. I wanted P. Wash if he would have been there, but it would have been, now I might have a better chance of getting one of the QBs. Yeah, so with Hurts, we need more passing yards. Maybe Lemon helped. A.J. Brown leaving doesn't help, but the chemistry was bad. New offense. Sean Mannion, we'll see what that unlocks for Jalen Hurts fantasy-wise. It really just needs the rushing touchdowns to come back. With Caleb, yeah, Caleb had a great season. Can he keep it up? There goes Lamar in the first pick in the 6th round. Can Caleb keep it up? I love Ben Johnson, and I'll take some Caleb. He's kind of in like that middling price, though. We're taking Caleb ahead of Mahomes, Dart, Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. I feel like he's kind of an expensive part of that tier. Unless you think he's more in line with a guy like Drake May. I'm going to get Drake May here to go with the A.J. Brown. I really thought about going Tyler Warren then. I think Tyler Warren has one of the highest value above replacement of all of the tight ends this year. It's like him, Colston Loveland, way up on the list. So I do like getting those guys. I'll have to figure it out at tight end. Drake May, expensive, but we're looking for another step forward. And if I've already took the risk with A.J. Brown over all these elite running backs like the Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, then, elite tight end like Brock Bowers, you got to make the bet. So let me just double down there, get some Drake May. Good start. First best ball mania of the night. Edge, who's your least favorite QB then? Who's your least? I have to think. I have to look at my exposures. My least favorite QB is probably and it's a cop-out, but Josh Allen because he's so expensive. But if I'm going to dig down, I don't draft a lot of Darnold. I should draft some more Goff. I've not been drafting a lot of Goff. I don't draft a lot of Aaron Rodgers. That's another cop-out. I don't have that much Jordan Love. So somehow I have a ton of Bryce Young, and I take him cheap, but I'll take Bryce Young late. Jeff says, I have an early best ball mania team with CD in the 2nd, Neighbors in the 3rd. The 4 spot is pulling done wrong. Yeah, the 4 spot here, I see what you're saying. To go with CD, pick 4 overall, and then Neighbors. So you never know, though. If those are the guys you need, it's not going to matter too much where you take them. But I feel you. Trevor Lawrence goes pick 76. Again, not a Trevor Lawrence team. What is it going to take for me to draft Trevor Lawrence tonight? We're going to get really lucky. This was not the draft. Brooks at 74, ahead of Ramondre. That's kind of crazy. What's up, Gap? Bunch of donks in this one on the left side. I'm boxed out by you. Gap is right next to me. Shout out. In the 10 spot. I'm in the 9. I like the start. What's up, Hulk Smash? Okay, I'm not going to go Dak or Herbert, obviously. Pollard makes sense. He falls a little bit. I could use a running back. Yeah, let's just take a Tony Pollard there. Bang. Don't overthink it too much. Out on Hurts, career low in rushing last year, low pass volume, seems unlikely to pay off ADP. It could be a changing of the guard. I mean, he's only 28 years old. Do we see some other QBs come in and kind of, if the rushing total's not there from the touchdowns, the rushing touchdowns, Hurts can't keep up as a passer, obviously. We'll see what Sean Mannion can do. If Lamar gets to me, he's yours. I know, I wish, though. I wish. What's up? How we doing, Hulk Smash? Happy Friday, brother. Thanks for being here. Why are you out on Rodgers? Because he's older than me. And I think the injury risk is just wide open. I think he can still have some spike games. And so he's fun cheap. but I'm still going to be below 8% Rodgers. I'll be like 5%, 4% Rodgers. Just a preference. I don't even like the Steelers that much. Their defense is so good. Their offense doesn't have to be that good. It's confusing. I don't know who's going to get the target share or the rush share in that offense. It's pretty hard to figure out. 4-spot hates stacking. Yep. Okay, back on the clock. I'll pass on all these QBs. And take a shot on I'll do Harvey. I thought about it for a second there. I have Javonte, but he didn't catch passes, so him with Dak seems like not the smart choice. And I mean, he didn't catch passes, didn't catch a lot of passes. $35 and 52 and 47. I mean, he doesn't do a lot with the passes when he catches them. It's actually, he's more of a PPR scam because the lack of yardage is pretty incredible. Maybe I'm overselling how bad of a pass catcher he is. At the same time, let me get an RB4 there. When in doubt, just take a running back in these early rounds. Who would have been there that I would have clicked? Probably Downs, Sutton, maybe Addison. I'm scared about Alec Pierce right now, so I'm not going to pay up for that price and a currently injured player. And then at the end of the day, Harvey is a Week 17 bring back for the Patriots. Wouldn't it be incredible if we got another AFC championship matchup that ends, what was it, 13-10? What was it? Score 15-7? It was something crazy. So not the most attractive playoff schedule either for the Patriots. At the same time, we'll go look at their implied team totals. Vegas has them on the road, only scoring 21.5 against KC. That sucks. On the road, only scoring 24 points against the Jets. That's pretty bad. And then home against Denver, only scoring 22.5 against the stout Denver defense. The 22.7 average implied point total for those three fantasy playoff games for the Patriots is 45th percentile. So they're bottom half by far. Yeah, what's up, T-Bucks? How we doing, brother? Hey. Appreciate you. Appreciate the kind words. Always good to see you. Drew. All right. 105. Okay, at this point, yeah, I'll just take a naked Mahomes and we'll make it work. I think I kind of want Pitts. Maybe I can push tight end. Maybe Purdy and Knicks aren't bad either. Bill's getting steamed up. I'll just take Mahomes. Little fall on Mahomes there. Scoop up the value. 10 picks past ADP. One of my bold predictions is that Jonah Coleman scores more fantasy points than RJ Harvey this year. It could be. I mean, Jonah Coleman's more of a do-it-all back, more of a pass catcher. Harvey's who knows what Harvey is. He's the guy who scores touchdowns. That's all he's ever done. The range was so bad, that's why I pulled Laporta up. Normally never do that. No, I don't disagree. I think you're totally fine. Just take a tight end whenever it fits into your team. You can take Laporta there. I almost thought about taking Fannin at pick 88, but I just capitulated back to running back. Guys, what's up with Xavier Worthy's shoulder right now? Did his shoulder fall off? Is he dead? He's fallen pretty far. Pat's first preseason game is against the Colts. Being described as a Boutte showcase. That would make sense to me. How we doing, Paulino? Good to see you, brother. Happy Friday. Elaw and a wide receiver at that turn. Total sense. Yeah, makes total sense. Ooh, there goes Pitts. I wouldn't have mind Pitts. Xavier Worthy, he can't be hurt forever, right? Let me get the stack here. He can't be hurt forever. Whatever. Xavier Worthy, famously not that good, always injured, and can't stay on the field. But what if he does? So if I get a cheap Mahomes and a cheap Worthy, I'm not going to push back on that. you could get a 0 from your 9th round pick, a 0 from your 10th round pick, and win Best Ball Mania. So that's not, we don't have to force anything there. Let's just take the falling value. Let's see if if Worthy has a lingering shoulder issue, maybe it's not a great pick, but maybe the Mahomes can still pay off, and I'll take a 0 there at some upside to have a nice stack. Kind of getting to that cliff for the wide receivers too. I mean, there's still some good wide receivers left, but it's thinning out fast. The running backs, I think, already hit the cliff. I would have liked to have gotten... Well, I got my 4th. I forgot I had Harvey. With Pollard and Harvey, I feel good. Bill could have been fun at the 112. He's been steaming up a little bit. Are you guys chasing Bill up the board? Or are you not falling for that again, just like last August? Yo, Jalapeno Jenkins, how we doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, guys, vote in the poll. Let me know who's the worst QB. Are we out on Stafford or are we out on Murray? I feel like you can't be in on both. It's very polarizing. You want the pocket passing NFL MVP with the best coach and the best weapons, or do you want the washed up former first overall on a new team in a Kevin O'Connell scheme that was so good for QBs when it was Sam Darnold, but not so good when it was JJ McCarthy? So is he actually the quarterback whisperer, or is this the worst spot to be? Dude, Kelsey goes right before my pick. The dude has no QBs. You hate to see it. I might just go Aaron Jones. At the same time, let me team stack some more Dallas. I really don't give a shit about Aaron Jones on this team. Let me team stack some Dallas, and I'm gonna go wide receiver. There's a bunch of wide receivers that I liked here, so I'll leave it at that. But I don't want to get so far behind at tight end. I'm already far behind. It's round 11. This is no good. I was really hoping Kelsey would make it. I didn't expect him to, but it was getting close. Worthy can't be dead because he was never really alive. Rip in pieces. Boutte to the Raiders. Yeah, that'd be fun. I could see it. Although, if you've been reading the Raiders camp news, they kind of like this Malik Benson guy. Malik Benson wasn't good enough to play at A&M. Wasn't good enough to play at Alabama. But he goes in the 6th round. He's getting some hype. He's big. He's fast. Malik Benson. Oh, I thought I had it in here. I guess I didn't bring it in. I guess it wasn't that interesting. All right. The wide receivers I wanted are gone. Omar Cooper. When in doubt, another rookie. Going to be a low floor wide receiver room with this group. I need to get some volume. This is almost certainly an 8 wide receiver group. Could be low floor. The running backs should help carry. The quarterbacks are really solid. Probably a 2 QB build. 4 or 5 running backs. And now it's going to take a bunch of late flyers of wide receiver and tight ends as well. Pass on Purdy, 12 picks passed with CMC and 0 QBs. Yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. The guy still doesn't have a QB. He's really pushing it. He's making me look... I had a team last night, or maybe it was off stream a couple nights ago. I had like Cam Ward, Bryce Young, and I don't even know who. Someone else crazy like Shador, or maybe it was Brissett. Not fun, but it could work. Just scrape by at QB. Need more Bill. Still too cheap. Paulino likes Bill. He agrees with Jeff. What's up, This Bandit? Good to see you, my friend. Long story short, if Benson was on any team other than the Raiders, he wouldn't see the field. We get it. Yeah. Yeah, and even then, can he beat out Jack Besh? Dante Thornton? I don't know. Do the Raiders still trade for or sign a wide receiver? Sign would be. I don't hate just taking Daniel Jones for the fact that I have JT. I'm a sucker for 3 QBs. You know that. Plus, all of these tight ends make sense to me. I don't really need a running back. The wide receivers are pretty flat. Daniel Jones just the best pick on the board value-wise. I have JT. Let me double down on my first-round pick. Bang. Another QB. I thought it'd be a 2 QB build for sure, but if I can get Daniel Jones that cheap and I'm making such a big investment in the Colts offense, I love Shane Steichen. I got JT going. Let's just keep the good things, keep the good times rolling, right? We're live on a Friday night drafting Best Ball Mania teams, talking about the best and the worst QB picks in each round. I think Daniel Jones, speaking of, one of the best QB picks on the board. He's coming off the Achilles. Maybe it limits his rushing upside a little bit, but got to believe in Shane Steichen, that offense, the weapons they put around him. And you got Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be good. Enough said. Okay. Juwan Johnson's still there, or do I want Dalton Schultz more? My next pick is going to be 177. I'll just do Juwan Johnson. I like him and Schultz just fine. With Juwan Johnson, you have to worry about the target competition coming from Jordan Tyson. But it can be fine. It's still pretty cheap. I would have liked Hunter Henry more, obviously, for the stack. I think Bryce Young is a good value late. Daniel Jones, a good value late. Just 2 QBs who will not get benched. Both should have been playoff teams. The Colts should have been a playoff team. They tanked the last half of the season when Jonathan Taylor, went up against really solid defenses. He couldn't have, when they were just stacking the box against him, he couldn't have big effective days. And Daniel Jones was out, and it was just too obvious what they were doing. Phillip Rivers came in. It was just downhill fast. So the Colts could easily be a playoff team again. The Panthers, people forget, were a playoff team. They put up a nice fight against the Rams, but couldn't do it. So I think, and then Darnold goes late. I mean, he's a decent passer. He's a new OC, right? Brian Fleury's there now, first-time play caller. Could be a different situation, could be a different thing. We got a career year out of JSN. So does Darnold repeat? Is he worth the value? I think Darnold's fine. There's a 0% risk he gets benched. So the guys, like, this whole tier for me is pretty flat for QB, but Stroud, Ward, Darnold, Young, Jones, I think they're all decent values. They're more expensive than where we were taking these later, borderline top 20 QBs last year. We were getting those guys much later. But at the end of the day, in the 13th, 14th, 15th round, what's the difference? These are all $1 auction bids. So spend $2, get your guy. And I'm loading up. A lot of my 3 QB builds are using Bryce Young and Daniel Jones. Stroud as well. I think getting 3 QBs before like Baker Mayfield or Murray or Willis is a little bit expensive, a little bit excessive. Kind of a run to the podium pick here. I do want Marshawn Lloyd on this team. I was joking about it earlier, but the only problem with Daniel Jones, he's impossible to backstack. Dimes has also had nothing but good reports on his health. That too has been pretty encouraging. So I've been monitoring it pretty close, I would say, with how invested I am in Daniel Jones. I think he's my second most drafted QB. In fact, he is. Dart's my most drafted. No, then Bryce Young, then Daniel Jones, as I was describing. I'm pretty high on Mahomes. Well, this is all of my exposures. Let me just filter to Best Ball Mania. I was like, what? I didn't think I had that much Murray. I haven't drafted Kyler in a while, but I'm still above the field of Kyler on Kyler. Yeah, Dart, Jones, then Young, then Mahomes, then Stafford. My top 5 QBs that I draft. Really hope the 8 hole gets fully boxed up at QB. Yeah, he wasted that value. He gets Bryce Young, but he's still playing from behind. don't really care about my QB or my tight end 3 that much. I'll go ahead and pull up Boutte there. Just if Drake May goes scorched earth, I want a lot of outs. And I didn't get Hunter Henry. I don't have any of the running backs. I'll take AJ Brown and Kayshon Boutte. Keenan will backstack in like a week. Brother, you're not wrong. I'm scared. We'll see. Question for the chat. And I'm going to close this first YouTube poll, and I'll start the next YouTube poll, but let's discuss. Because I really am interested to know. And you guys obviously like Stafford more than Kyler Murray. So I'm going to close that YouTube poll, but I'm starting a new one. If Keenan Allen is a Colt, we have to predict the ADP of Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, and Tyler Warren. Downs falls the most. Pierce falls the most. Warren falls the most. Who falls the most? It's obviously Josh Downs, but let's discuss in the chat. Really, is there any impact on Tyler Warren? I could argue no. And maybe not even a big impact on Alec Pierce. Maybe just the pure impact. Maybe some impact to Pierce, because it kind of signifies, it signals at least that his health isn't great. It signals his health isn't great. Let's do some Eli Raridan. I feel like I need a veteran receiver on this team. Bernard's good. Hurst is kind of pushing it. If I'm going to take another rookie. Like I said, if Drake May hits, I want pieces. So I'll go Eli Raridan there. Tight end 3. First share in Best Ball Mania. Bernard's fun. He's my 3rd rookie wide receiver. Is that the way I want to play it? Keon Coleman. I don't really see him getting replaced. Troy Franklin did get replaced. So I'll just go Jeremy Bernard here. A lot of rookies. A lot of rookie wide receivers. AJ Brown and Flowers holding it down. I treat Tate. I think he's just going to dominate from the start. So then it's just upside, looking for correlation with Worthy and Boutte. And the rookies of Cooper and Bernard, true rookies. Although Cooper went in the first round, Bernard went in the second. I don't mind it. You guys think this is crazy? The Eli Raridan in the 17th round? I mean, why push it to the 18th? I didn't care about those receivers. Could have taken Keenan Allen, but could have taken Bateman. I think I preferred Bernard. Bryce is such a bad QB1. Yeah, a terrible QB1. But then getting Smith and Brissett, he did kind of play it interesting on the backside. An interesting team. He had a lot of Panthers, too. He had T-Mac. He had Chuba. His Coker, and then he gets Bryce Young. So at least he does onslaught the Panthers. Makes it a little bit more bearable. Also, he had Sadiq with Smith. And I think he was the guy who had... Did he have Wilson? No, he took McMillan. So anyways, and Cam Moore didn't really come back to me in the range. I would have gone Cam Moore over Daniel Jones in this team, but just because I had Carnell Tate. I think Boutte is a Patriot or a Colt. Get the stack either way. He could be. I mean, I think he just stays a Patriot. I don't think they need to move him. Just surround Drake May with more weapons. Keep him there. Keenan is going to ring chase and go with the Rams would be insane, but it's not out of the question. You know, West Coast guy. Doesn't have to move. Al Boog, a round 18 pick. Downs needs to fall like 30 picks if Keenan signs. I would agree. We saw Downs steam up about 30 picks. I mean, Downs was going here in round 10 not too long ago, and then in round 9, and then round 8, and now he's in round 7. Some people are really in on Downs. Gap drafted Downs here. I'm not even saying he's that bad of a pick, but some people are really in on Downs, and he's never really done it. He's never done it for anyone. He's a good target earner, but he doesn't get a lot of touchdowns. He's just never been the alpha, never been the guy. And I think the guy for the Colts, besides Jonathan Taylor, obviously, I think it's Tyler Warren. So I want to keep my Tyler Warren exposure high. I need to get more. I need more Tyler Warren. I end up drafting him more in other contests than I do purely in Best Ball Mania. That's got to change. 2 things on my to-do list for tonight. We're drafting a Trevor Lawrence team. It's got to happen. And I'm also drafting Tyler Warren. Young Moolah, what's up? How we doing, my friend? Good to see you. Happy Friday. GAB. Saw you live earlier. Caught a little bit of it. Just did some lurking. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Always good to see you. Downs after Coker. If Keenan goes there, that's a statement, Boog. That's a real statement. Almost as much of a statement as your profile picture here. Shout out to Forever Love. Mayer is the best undrafted late round tight end. He's literally the Raiders' second best pass catcher. Probably also true. I have to look at my model. I have Mayer at about, I think 11 or 12 or 13% target share. So not meaningless. I think Mayer could easily outscore Jalen Naylor. But I think what happens more likely is Mayer has just a similar target share, has fewer reception yards, maybe more receptions. Definitely more receptions if they have similar target share. And then the touchdowns is a big question mark, but Naylor clears. Naylor clears Mayer? I don't know. He did get bailed out a little bit with the Brissett bailout. Brissett, I think, is a good value. I tweeted this earlier today. I'm going to pull this up. I got to pull this up. Let me stop the music. Right on the beat drop, too. Whatever. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. Okay. We can see that, right? You know, no big deal. Just me wake surfing last weekend, the ship chasing meetup, killing it, having fun. But the point of this was not the sick wake surfing, although it is fun. But every Friday, I do my Before You Go Touch Grass this weekend segment. Just know one thing. Jacoby Brissett averaged more fantasy points per game than Jalen Hurts last season. Brissett had 19.6 on 12 games. Hurts had 19.1 in 16 games. So, you know, Brissett, a nice little value late. Why not? People are like, oh, Carson Beck. Even before the Hall of Fame game. Oh, Carson Beck. Carson Beck. Guess what? Everyone was saying Carson Beck sucked in college. They kicked him out of Georgia. Get out of here. He's old. He's creepy. He's got weird Snapchat game. I don't know. Rumors. I'm not saying this. I'm hearing this. Plays for Miami. Almost gets a ship, but doesn't get it. That's Mr. Mendoza. Do I think Carson Beck's draftable? Sure. Because last year we weren't drafting Tyler Shuck. We weren't drafting Jackson Dart. And look how those guys paid off. pretty well. We're drafting him pretty high right now. Both borderline top 100, top 120 picks. Beck, though, he didn't have to just beat Jacoby Brissett. He also has to beat Gardner Minshew. So it sounds like, oh, Brissett, Minshew, they both suck. They've both been starting QBs in the league for different teams for the last, half decade. So they're not pushovers. I think Brissett, coin flip, whether he starts every game or not. That's the way I lean. So half the time, I think Brissett starts all 17 games. The other half the time, he gets benched week 10, 11, 13, who knows? They have a bye week 14, and then Beck comes in for a little bit. You really think you're going to... if you take Beck late and he only starts the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's not going to pay off. He's not going to matter. I don't think he can be good enough in those games to pay off anyways. He's not going to be the guy you need. So I think it's way better of a bet to take Brissett, have him be a guy that gets you there. And even if he's not playing, he's probably your QB3 during the fantasy playoffs. Dead roster spot, but whatever, who knows? Anything can happen. But on the odd chance he plays all the games, you're getting a round 17 quarterback whose first pass catcher goes in the 3rd round and was going in the 2nd round before that and just led the NFL in the tight end position, actually all time for receptions. His running back was a 1st round pick, number 3 overall. He goes in the 2-3 turn. And then he's got a wide receiver who's a former 1st round pick who's going in the 7th round, in the 6th round, sometimes 7th, but usually 6th round. Marvin Harrison, another wide receiver at the 8-9 turn right now. Michael Wilson's been climbing up boards. I'm going to draft more Michael Wilson as well. Michael Wilson, he's my wide receiver target for tonight. Trevor Lawrence, that's my quarterback target for tonight. And Tyler Warren, my tight end target. I already got my running back target. We got Marshawn Lloyd barely ahead of ADP, but I'm glad I didn't have to reach up for him. I'm not too big on him. Just needed a profile like his on his team. T-Law, my 2nd highest QB exposure, but my 1st is gimmicky because it's 40% Mendoza. I don't think it's that Mendoza. I kind of like... I don't think it's that gimmicky. I like Mendoza. The rookie QBs are always undervalued. Yeah, what's up? Process wins. Got Mayer for 67 targets. I like that. That's a good, healthy amount. Hell yeah. You know what I was, GAB, though? I had my hands full. I was unloading groceries. The kids were both still awake. I had my hands full. But I did smash the like, and I did listen in a little bit. But next time I always say what up. Cards offense totally fine for fantasy. Curious to see how LaFleur does, though. Yeah, we got little brother LaFleur. I'm a big fan of Matt LaFleur. I think Mike LaFleur will see. Confirming Hurts the worst QB on the board. Got it. He might be. Which QB are you avoiding? Yeah, I think the cop-out answer is I'm avoiding Josh Allen because he's just the first QB off the board. He's expensive. The next one I'm avoiding, probably a little bit Caleb. He's a little expensive, and I don't mind the guys going after him. Like Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Mahomes, Purdy, Dart. I like those guys. I'm a little bit avoiding Kyler Murray going forward. I was drafting much more Kyler Murray in previous months. I'm not super excited. I don't have a ton of Jordan Love. I don't have a ton of Tyler Shuck. I pretty much stopped drafting Malik Willis. I don't draft a ton of Aaron Rodgers. So... Oh, I didn't even review that team. Oh, wrong one. BBM number 60. Drake May, 3573. Drake May, Mahomes, Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor, Javonte, Tony Pollard, RJ Harvey, Marshawn Lloyd. QBs, very strong. I give it an A+. RB's very strong. I give it an A+. I got the team stack. Colts. Week 17 bring back for the Patriots with Harvey. Wide receivers, A.J. Brown stacked. Xavier Worthy stacked at a discount. Same thing with Mahomes at a pretty good discount. Butte stacked up. Bunch of rookies. It's just a bet that A.J. Brown is a complete smash is pretty much what it is. Same thing with Zay Flowers. If those two guys pay off, one of the rookies hits, we're good. Tight end, so wide receiver, I'd give like a B-. I think it's fun, but it could work. Good stacks. Tight end, another B-. Maybe even a C+. Ferguson, Juwan Johnson, Raritan, just not very strong, so. And we're starting soon. This is a Best Ball Mania number 2 of the night. I'm in the 2 spot. You got Underzet in the 3. Jalapeno Jenkins in the 4. And we're getting after it. Make sure you smash the like on the stream. And come get in the chat. Say what up. Let me know what happens if and when the Colts sign Keenan Allen. You know, I think Downs does fall pretty far. And you guys have been saying, like, how much you think it could fall. What about Tyler Warren? Is there any impact on Tyler Warren if Keenan Allen signs? I kind of lean towards no. I think Tyler Warren's already a good value. I need to draft more of him. And then Alec Pierce, I think the injury is more concerning for him, but it's pretty damning if the Colts go ahead and sign Keenan Allen and bring him in, that Alec Pierce is not going to be ready, you know, off the bat real early. So Bijan team, let's go. I got distracted texting the wifey. Sorry, just texting the wifey, just coordinating the weekend plans. We're going to go out to the lake tomorrow and chill. Maybe jump in the water, drink a few beers on the dock, do some walks in the neighborhood out there in the hill country. Lake LBJ out here in Central Texas, west of Austin. Jets, Titans, Raiders. Oh, for the Cardinals? Yeah, the Cardinals playoff is the Jets, the Saints, and the Raiders. But Vegas only has them at an implied team total of an average of 20 points. So even though it's a good week, you know, they have 2 home games. They're in the Dome, week 17. Some weak defenses. The Cardinals are only projected to score about 20 points a game, which is 10th percentile, which is like by far one of the worst. So that's, I mean, it goes both ways. The defenses can suck. You can have 2 home games. You can have a Dome game week 17. But Vegas thinks they're not going to score that many points, which hurts. Yeah, I think so, Young Mula. I am afraid. I still draft some Caleb. I usually get him at a slight ADP discount. And I don't always take QBs that early is the other part of why I don't have like a ton of them. Okay, I did this last night. I'm gonna push London because I had a Bijan London team last night, and I don't think I have Bijan with Neighbors yet. And I got a Bijan London team last night, and I took London in the third. I actually tweeted about it. It was on stream with Hartman came on right afterwards. But yeah, Young Mullah, I like the Bears. I love Ben Johnson's offense. I usually play the Bears through Burden, Loveland, and Swift. I'll take some Odunze, and I'll take some Caleb. And I don't take a ton of Monengai, but yeah, I think it's priced in though. We're all assuming the Bears are going to be like electric and bury everyone. It's kind of priced in why they're all so expensive. At the same time, the market's not wrong. They're expensive because they're good. He goes Drake London here, and then I called it. I could do Rashee Rice. I'm going to go Trey McBride. Take a lot of Trey McBride. I'm on the part of the board where it's like Colston Loveland doesn't always fall here. Tyler Warren never falls to pick 71 anymore. So I want an elite tight end on this build. I think I'm in the right spot there. Bijan, Neighbors, McBride. Might just have the best running back, the best receiver, and the best tight end all on one team. Or at the very least, I could have the running back that has the most targets, the receiver that has the most targets, and the tight end that has the most targets. It's pretty conceivable. So I'll chase that. Yeah, the Bears are pricey. I do like Ben Johnson a lot. Steichen said today, still no timetable for Pierce. It's getting a little scary. Yeah, I haven't drafted Pierce in a while now. I didn't like his price for a bit there, and then now I'm just afraid of the injury news. Alec Pierce, one of my top 5 most drafted wide receivers each of the last 2 fantasy seasons when he was cheap, but not this year. I've had a CPL drink, so a couple drinks, so forgive me if I do anything unethical. Oh shit, we got Jalapeno Jenkins trying to snipe me here out of the 4 spot. We got to watch our back in this one. I forgot. We got a few friends in the room. Let me know if you're in this draft with me. I'm drafting out of the 2 spot. And if you're in here, I didn't call you out. Let me know. Yeah. LeBron James. Lake LBJ. LeBron James. That's Lyndon B. Johnson to you, sir. Austin, home of the Lyndon B. Johnson Presidential Museum. It's right there on the UT campus. Fun fact. Bury everyone. Nice. Da-dunch. Wait, I think I got something for this. Nope. I don't have it. I'm looking though. Would it be this one? Yeah, I don't want to fade the Ben Johnson offense because I think they could just bury you. Oh, that was terrible. There it is. That's a good one. Don't get buried by fading the Bears offense. Okay, we're back. I was looking for the one that was like the doo-doom like drum sound, but it wasn't one of the preset sounds. So that's the end of that. Also, sorry if that was loud. I didn't calibrate the sound settings on the StreamYard sound effects that I never use, so rip. Was that loud as shit? Hope it wasn't too loud. Yeah, Bears are super expensive all across the team. None of them are real bargains. Either fair price or overpriced. 100%. 100%. And you might just have to pay up to get the good players, right? So, ooh. Am I going to double dip? No. Scadaboo's there. Double dip the Giants. Probably not a great idea. I'll take Mike Evans first. Old wide receivers. I have so much Devontae Adams. I'm trying to mix it up, get some more Evans. Montgomery goes. P-Wash at 49. Oh, my. And then do I just go Devontae Adams? I could do J-Mo. I could do Swift. I'm going to go Swift. I want to stay more balanced. I think Swift is a nice piece. Bears offense, we've been talking about it. I draft a lot of DeAndre Swift. I think Loveland is a great value above replacement tight end. He's going to be rising a bunch. I've seen Loveland going on the right side of the board pretty often. In both of the drafts tonight, both Loveland and Burden on the right side of the board in the 4th round. Yeah, that's the P-Wash gong. You know, it's anytime Parker Washington gets drafted 20 picks ahead of ADP, we'll hit the little gong in there. Probably couldn't even hear the gong that time. I nuked the sound on the sound effects. All right, I'm going to close the poll. We had some discussion around if Keenan Allen lands, but it's pretty obvious, right? It is Josh Downs getting nuked. And honestly, a lot of y'all voted that Pierce would fall too, but I think his is more injury related. But it's also just a signal that he's not healthy. So it goes both ways. I think you guys are smart. Okay, new YouTube poll. The new YouTube poll will be something very general. Do you prefer 10-team or 12-team redraft leagues? 10-team, 12-team. And why? My home league, it's redraft, auction, superflex, half PPR, 3 wide receivers, 2 flex. I think we're that deep. No, or maybe just 1 flex. I can't remember. I have to look at it. But 10-team. All my dynasty leagues are 12. All these best ball drafts are 12. My home league is 10, but it's also super flex. He watched at 49 and BBM. I'm speechless. Young Mula, are you more of the Brian Thomas wavelength or Jacoby Myers? How are you playing the Jacksonville Jaguars pass catchers? What is a redraft league, says Hartman? It's that thing that we did last year, that big gorilla where we got completely crushed because we were such June slappy drafter, best ball bros, 0 RBs, and okay, Lemon's there, Marv is there, Mondre. I go Lemon. I could get Hurts. Kind of crazy, Daniels and May. I mean, they should have gone, but they almost made it to me. I get the wide receiver 3 after I push. I could have taken Devontae Adams or Jameson Williams instead of Swift, but I like the 1-for-1 swap there. And I can still get Mondre here. I'm not going to go Hurts. I said I might do more Hurts. I did get Lemon this time. I'm going to push because I think it makes sense to get the RB3. My most drafted running back. My most drafted player. Ramondre Stevenson, come on down. Because, I mean, the way it lines up, there's going to be some good QBs late that can line up nicely for me. And if that's the case, if I can get some good QBs later on that stack with my team, I mean, I could have gone Hurts there with the Lemon, but Let me just get the upside of Lemon and not. I took the elite tight end. I want to push QB just a little bit. Round 8, 9 feels better. Next full question. How much does Geno check down this year? A lot? For Omar Cooper Jr. or never for AD? Also, I mean, something to watch. Mula says, I like P-Wash and BTJ. Hefty bags packed on both. Okay, that's smart. Just play it both. Liam Cohen's the man. All my stacked DK teams have BTJ in the flex, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because you have so much T-Law. So Gap's got like 40% T-Law, he said. That makes sense. DK's more fun to draft on. So many dorks. So many donks. Could be. Yeah, could be the move. Well, speaking of, though, Alec Pierce goes pick 82 here. So someone's having no fear. They're definitely not in the chat. We've been flooding Alec Pierce all night long. Last BBM was similar to 3-spot. Hero, a wide receiver build, and he liked that team. Let's see what it ended up being. Jamar Chase, Bowers, Love, Scatterboot, Tootin, Burrow, Harrison. That's pretty fun. That is a pretty nice start. It's a lot of investment in the Cardinals with Love and Marvin Harrison. And then your first running back is also Love. I like Love when he's my second running back on a team. I don't like it when he's my first running back. Little personal preference there, but all right, we got 13 likes on the stream. We got 25 watching. If we get up to 20 likes, I will gift 5 Membies to the chat. 5 memberships. You get access to the emotes. You get access to my spreadsheets and data models if you want. And also supports the channel. And you get to be in the inner circle, which is always good. So we are in the middle of round 8. 3-3-1 build. I went Bijan, Neighbors, McBride. Almost got London in the 3rd round again on a Bijan team. I did that last night. Mike Evans, DeAndre Swift, Mekhi Lemon as my wide receiver 3, Ramondre Stevenson as my RB3. I'm going to go Purdy first. Take Brock Purdy to go with the Mike Evans. And I like Purdy. The dude's just good. So Purdy with Evans is a fun stack. That's why I passed on Hurts. I'd rather just get Purdy around later. Because the 1-for-1 swap is, if I didn't get Stevenson, I could have got Corum there. Not as good of a pick. Not a terrible pick. Wow, Kyler goes pick 96. That's interesting. Some people really like Kyler. There's a whole Kyler hype hive out there. Hartman's part of it. Mason at 97. Interesting. I definitely am going Jackson Dart here. I was between him and Mike Wilson. Or Corum, or Bill, or Mahomes. But no, with Malik Neighbors, with Mike Evans, we get Purdy and Jackson Dart. And then just bye weeks don't matter. Both QBs on a week 8 bye. Both top wide receivers on a week 8 bye. Let's get unique. Dart and Stevenson, I mean, my 2 most drafted players, and here they are on the same team. Lemon's one of my most drafted players. Maybe I'm just getting the draft picks from the left side of the board a ton, because Dart, I'm at 25%. Stevenson, 33%. I need to work that down a little bit, but it's hard. Lemon, I'm at 22%. So someone gets a nice little value there on Mahomes, pick 101. Last night I did a poll. I said, who's the better value at QB? And I think I did Trevor Lawrence versus Mahomes. But then I put Mahomes in parentheses knee. And you guys fell for it. You guys heavily voted in favor of Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence does go higher in ADP, but last year we were drafting Trevor Lawrence in the same exact spot as CJ Stroud around pick 135. So this is the first year Trevor Lawrence has ever been drafted ahead of Pat Mahomes in fantasy football. Just saying. But what's the difference? Well, now they have Liam Cohen on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Makes sense to me why he's improved so much, why Baker Mayfield might have fallen off so much. Mahomes is back with the enemy, and he's got Andy Reid, so he should be safe. Jenkins says, normally a robust RB guy. Got to balance it out sometimes. I feel like I might have overdone it, though. Yeah. Going 5 straight receivers, and then Daniels and Hurts. You get the McLaurin stack. You got the Devonta Smith stack, which is fun. Puka and Pickens is nice. I mean, I love your start, honestly. You're going to have to get lucky at running back the rest of the draft, and you're going to be fucked at tight end, but maybe tight end doesn't matter. So I love what you're doing so far. I think it's fun. Every once in a while, it's super fun. KOC could name JJ McCarthy the starter today, and I wouldn't believe him. This is king of the Kyler Murray hype hive. Hartman, don't you realize that GTA 6 is going to get released? And what are the odds it gets released during the fantasy playoffs, like week 14, week 15, and Kyler just benches himself? Because he doesn't want to study. He wants to play GTA 6 online. Yeah, F week 8. It's the Candyman squad, 100%, man. Yeah, no, I don't know Chris. Chris is notorious. He's just like a high volume drafter. Everyone knows the Chris username. I know like 3 other Chris's, but none of them are the Chris username. We know Chris L. Chris L was at Ship Chasing Meetup. He's in the chat. Who else is Chris that we know? It'll come to me. I feel like I know a few Chris's in the space for sure. Chris G, of course, but he's Chris G. $119, $122. I haven't taken a wide receiver in a bit. Romeo Doubs does make sense. More Patriots pieces. I'll do that with Ramondre team stack. I don't take a lot of Higgins. I can throw a Higgins on this team kind of for fun. No, another week 8 bye. Then I can't get Stroud later. It wouldn't make sense. KC's kind of fun. The whole shoulder thing says the shoulder's fine, but yeah, I like KC. McBride, Kelsey or Kincaid here. Neither of them are bad picks. C-Rod's kind of a fun pick. I've moved him up a little bit based on what we've seen lately. Kittle's there. Fuck, Kittle goes. I should have taken Kittle on this team ahead of Dobbs. That was my bad. I don't know why he's nuked in the ranks. I didn't even see him. I'll go C-Rod there because it sounds like he's going to maybe be the goal line back, and maybe it's overblown. I think it's a cheap enough price to take a shot on him. If he is the running back inside the red zone for that offense, it's a pretty valuable role. If Newton's just the guys inside the 20s, wow. So I'll pivot there. I don't take a lot of C-Rod. I think his price is, I'm back to being okay with his price. The only reason I took him over KC is because of KC's potential injury right now, but also just the Browns versus the Jags. So kind of a tie break and get my RB4 before the cliff. I should have taken Kittle, though, over Dobbs. It's not. It's fine. It's still good to get a wide receiver 4 and a guy that's team stacked where I have like Ramondre and a good bet on the Patriots offense, which is always fun. But I didn't even see Kittle there in the ranks. I should have pulled up Kittle. Would have been fun for the double stack. It's okay. I've got McBride. I don't need Kittle is kind of the meaningful part of that. But what can I do? I'm probably just going to take a late, cheap QB. Not worry about stacking too much. It could be Darnold, Jones, Ward, anyone without a week 8 bye. So I'm clear except for Stroud. Yeah, look at all the tight ends going in round 11. Kittle, Kelsey, Kincaid, Mandrews, and Goddard. 5 tight ends in round 11. Don't be the last team to draft a tight end. You might think the late tight end strategy can work because tight ends don't matter. I think you want to have a strong tight end, and then you also want to have some dart throws late that just might be the guy you need, like a Juwan Johnson late. But I want more consistency week to week. Don't be losing it to the tight end position and you don't advance out of your pod because your top tight end is, you know, the 15th tight end taken off the board. That's not going to help you win. Your floor would be so much lower. Yeah. 3 QB. Yeah, what's up, PD? I've done like 5 fast BBMs with Chris this year. Yeah, Chris username's a legend. Everyone knows the Chris username. It's not me, though. First year doing best ball, and I've learned pre-draft is honestly a waste of time and money. I would agree to a large extent, except if you win one of those tournaments, it's pretty fun. It's hard to win because the teams end up looking a lot like the post-draft teams. I treat pre-draft as a good way to stay sharp in the flow of information, get a bunch of reps in, and just have fun drafting. But I don't take pre-draft very seriously, and I don't go overboard with the pre-draft volume. Yeah, Chris is a goat. He binks dailies. He's in the NBA streets. Yeah, 100%. He's all over the place. I'm going to go Ferguson here. Last second, I changed my mind. It's the bye week 14 kind of threw me off a little bit, but the bring back for my Jackson Dart's nice. And I really don't care about, week 14 for tight end. And I'm very open to taking a 3 tight end build, even with McBride. Tight ends get hurt all the time. But can I get Boston? I could take Chigakonkwo and be done. I won't do that, though. I said took Ferguson there. Darnold. I could kind of backstack Darnold. Is Boston worth it? I might just go Darnold and be done. Boston is kind of fun. It's still just the Browns, though. The thing about the Browns, they don't have a high implied team total for the playoff weeks. Obviously, it's the lowest. That's not great. At the same time, I just took Sam Darnold on the Seahawks. Theirs is actually not bad. They play some tough defenses like Philly and the Rams, but it's Philly on the road. Implied team total for the Seahawks is only 21. At home against the Rams, their implied team total is 24.5. It's actually really good. And then on the road against Carolina is also a 24 point. So they're kind of middle of the road or above that for the fantasy playoffs. So like Sam Darnold, maybe a decent value. Can I backstack him? Yeah, potentially. I've got 2 ideas. We'll see if it plays out. thoughts on J.K. Dobbins. I take some Dobbins. I was more aggressive on Dobbins back in June, but the lack of pass catching upside, the fact they drafted Jonah Coleman, RJ Harvey's there as well. It's like a three-headed monster. It's a good offense. I don't really know how to play it. The problem with Dobbins is he has no ceiling. He has floor. Good floor last year. Consistent scorer in terms of hitting your lineup, but the lack of touchdowns, the lack of pass catching really hurts his ceiling. So I'm kind of like, I'll have the field amount of Dobbins just because I like the Broncos. Pat Freiermuth and Jake Tongas tight end. Yeah, not strong enough. Dobbins scores the most fantasy points for as long as he's healthy. I'm worried he won't be around when all the money is won. Also could be true. Went overboard with the big board and in the pre-draft. Yeah, just find what's right. Cash bankroll management, and I try to back weight towards August too. The further you are from August, the less information you have, the worse teams you're going to draft. Unless you're just an oracle, just a ball knower, an absolute stud. You can draft a shipper in June or in March for pre-draft. Yeah, 2K is a lot of drafts. That's a lot. I usually get close to about 1K total across the entire year in NFL. Sometimes a little less, usually a little less. But I don't do any auto drafting. And I hate slow drafts. Week 11 buys at running back should be fine. Chris Rodriguez and DeAndre Swift can hold it down for a week. It's a little concerning, that many at week 11 overlaps, but what are you going to do? The wide receivers are good enough. I'm going to keep pushing it. It's been ages since I took a wide receiver. I'll throw on some late. Even at pick 170, it's a flat tier. Can't spell. Go Barner here. I like Barner. One of the back stacks I was thinking of. Done at tight end. Pretty expensive tight end room. I'll do probably a bunch of late dart throws at wide receiver. Running back's good. The bye weeks are slightly concerning. Having some bye week issues on this team, but not going to worry about it. Get 3 more wide receivers, it seems, and kind of be done everywhere else. Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm a pretty decent college ball knower, but the edge doesn't always translate to those drafts because it's usually all the veterans that screw me at that point in the season. Players changing teams, things like that. Free agents. He could be this year's Javonte Williams. Good for the first half and bad for the second half. But also, Javonte had no competition. You got RJ Harvey, a round 2 pick, and then Jonah Coleman's no pushover either. So, yeah, Horton Cup could be fun. Then I'm just stacking up all these week 11 buys. It could get a bit excessive. Rodgers and Kelsey pre-draft for the prices, but yeah, it happens. Yo. What up? Could definitely backstack Darnold with Jake Bobo and Eric Saubert. That's also true. That'd be a pretty good idea. It'd be unique for sure. Jacoby Lane and Boston and Coleman. Yeah. And then K9 in the 4th before he went. Right, yeah. And I think the one thing that we sometimes do is if you have so much of a player cheap, like Devonta Smith in the 4th or K9 in the 4th, we feel like we have enough. You don't want to chase him up. I would encourage you to chase him up. He's still a good pick. If he's the guy you need, you're not going to care if you got him in round 3 or round 4. So if you like a player a lot, don't be too afraid to chase him up. It's the players that fall down the board you want to avoid, but it can be actually advantageous to continue to chase players up the board. It can really pay off. Wicks is kind of fun on this team. I have Lemon. Oh, shit. Maybe not. I'll go Ridley first. Maybe not a Wicks team if I have Lemon. That's kind of doesn't seem like it would make a lot of sense to take 2 pass catchers on the Eagles. Pretty low volume passing offense as it is. And I'm betting on Lemon with way more draft capital. So I'll go Ridley there. Running back wise, I'm done. I'm done. I'll have to get lucky in week 11 with C-Rod and Swift, but they'll hold it down. No more week 8 receivers, and I got to get 2 more. I don't mind Bernard. Branch is fine. I took Bernard last time. I might go Branch this time over him. Wow, Claiborne and Vidal. Lane's pretty fun. Hurst is fun. There's so many fun late rookies. I always feel like I want to take 1 or 2 of them. Boutte still there. Oh, Zachariah Branch pops off. Let's do it. Probably a fancy 0, but you never know. Competing with Dotson and Zacchaeus for the wide receiver 2 duties. Not the strongest competition, but they are both NFL veterans that probably outsnap him for most of the season. But I mean, I've got Neighbors and Mike Evans. And then, maybe Calvin Ridley can like chaperone him there. Chimere DK gets drafted. Very nice. He's the top rookie all time in terms of scrimmage yards. Kind of surprised they replaced him with Wandale. They had him and Eomanor, and they just cleaned house, and they brought in Wandale. They draft Tate, so Ridley's back healthy. Not looking good for DK's odds of getting on the field and contributing more than just special teams, but the dude was prolific last year. He had 2 punt returns for a touchdown. Yeah, let's get Cody White too, right? Make Knicks. I'm taking K9, but Devonta not as much. Flowers or Kyron better than him. Kevin White. Yeah, West Virginia GOAT. Yeah, Quentin Johnston. Kind of like Kevin White. Kind of. I mean, Quentin Johnston was like a rookie bust, and then he's had a good year, and then he's up and down. I mean, it's all over the place. Kevin White, I think, had higher draft capital. Wasn't Kevin White like a top 10 pick? Yep, and then you get the whole C-Rod narrative for the revenge game week 17 is pretty fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Kentucky shower narrative is another fun one. Yeah, TCU fan. There you go. Gap's a TCU fan. Good looking dog in the profile pic too there, Gap. TCU's fun. My sister-in-law went to TCU, And my brother and my sister-in-law live in Fort Worth currently. No, Lane goes. Okay. Horton's the backup, but who can I get? Could be Fields. Let's go Fields. Man, I'm getting slappy with the rookies tonight. I mean, another team with 3 rookie receivers. And I went against my own best judgment, and I took another Week 8 bye. So, Week 8, it'll be Lemon, Dobbs, Ridley, and Branch. That's going to be a low-scoring week. Hopefully, 3 of those guys can cover. I have all my running backs active that week at least. But this team has kind of had some bye week issues. Week 11 and Week 8 just got... I mean, it's going to lower the floor of this team, I think, to an interesting extent. Let me look on my mobile. Yeah, I still project well. I'm projecting for like 3,000 points, but I have 4+ players on bye in Week 8 and Week 11. Yeah, let's count them. So, Barner, Branch, Dobbs, Lloyd, Stevenson, Bijan, and Darnold. Half my team, 7 out of 18. Almost half my team's on bye Week 11. And then Purdy, Dart, Neighbors, Evans, Fields, 5 on bye in Week 8. I think we can get through. I think it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. If I've got the guys you need, if I get big scores in the other weeks that matter, it'll be just fine. Overall, fun team. Double stack Jackson Dart, Brock Purdy with Mike Evans, Sam Darnold with just a little value pick. Get him with Barner, Bijan, Swift, Ramondre, C-Rod, Lloyd, running backs. Week 17 bring back on my San Francisco stack with Lemon. Team stack the Patriots with Dobbs and Ramondre. Team stack the Falcons with Branch and Bijan. Three rookie wide receivers. Probably a lot of low floors with guys like Branch and Fields. Fields is competing with Mooney and Slayton for snaps. Branch is competing with Dotson and Zacchaeus. Elite tight end Trey McBride. Partially why the wide receiver team room grouping here looks a little bit weaker. All of the rookies, some bye week overlaps, and the elite tight end. But the running backs, I think, are plenty good. And I like the QBs a lot. Bang. Another one. Best ball mania. Let's go. I'm in the 3 spot. I'm having good luck tonight. I just drafted out of the 2 spot. Now we're in the 3. Oh, shit. None other than Boner Brian in here. Brian, you better come get in the chat and say what up. I'm expecting to see you. I haven't drafted in a room with Brian, and it feels like a long time. Let's see what he does this draft. Wowzas. I'll take another Bijan. Chase the 2. Got Gustafson at the 2 spot. Brian in the 4. If you're in this draft with me, let me know where you're at. PD likes QJ this year. I feel like QJ is pretty expensive. I mean, he was good to start the year. He was bad to end the year last year. He just was. He could have the wide receiver 2 spot. There is some target share open for the taking with Keenan Allen gone, so you're not wrong about that. And if Mike McDaniel's just this guy everyone thinks he is, which we've seen him have great seasons with Waddle and Tyreek. Maybe QJ has a career year. I know people like QJ. It seems like a lot of people don't like him, but I don't even know what my QJ exposure is. I'm going to be kind of like neutral or slightly under-owned. I'm probably fading him a little bit. Eric McAllister. Wow. Yep. I think QJ pretty much the same as Rome. I'm a slight fade on Rome as well. Rome Odunze has one of the worst catch rates among all wide receivers. And he's really just a red zone target and a deep target. If he wasn't such a good red zone target, he'd have very low value. But he's not a significant part of that offense. Rome, he's just not. He can earn some targets, but he has like a 50% catch rate. So he needs like 8 targets to be effective. At least he has a good share of the red zone targets, and he can catch some touchdowns. But he's risky. Rome's very risky. You're looking for touchdown upside. I think in managed leagues, I would never draft Rome Odunze. In best ball, I can justify it. Yeah, QJ was cheaper before. He's been rising a bunch, that's for sure, too. Well, when a guy goes 30 picks more expensive, it's usually your cue to chase him up because the market's generally onto something. You want to avoid the guys falling. You want to chase the guys rising. I say that. I'm kind of afraid to chase up Josh Downs. I'll still draft him, but I think he's so fragile to a veteran signing there. We've seen Devo and Diggs sign, not with the Colts, but if it's just Keenan Allen is the next domino to fall, then Downs is going to get tanked. Is Malachi Fields not a zero? He could be. I'm hearing some good hype around Giants camp that he's impressive, big, fast. Did I throw him in here? Yeah, I did. He's impressive. 19 years old at Virginia. He had a 58% catch rate, kind of sucks, but 25% target share. His catch rate's pretty low. Below 60 is not great, but he's got good size speed, played at Notre Dame. He's an older rookie. It's not dynasty, you know, this is best ball. We just need him to pay off, hit big off the bat. So a lot of AJ Brown tonight. I'm going to switch it up. Let's go Nico this time. Or not. Look at that. Pause the clock. I'll take AJ Brown, whatever. I just took AJ Brown at pick 16. I'll take him at 22. I took him with JT on that team earlier. Let's get an AJ Brown Bijan team. This is what I did last night. Last night I went Bijan, AJ Brown, and London. I think it was out of the 3 spot. Let me look at my Twitter. Yeah, no, 2 spot, but still. On the clock. Almost got Nico. Almost got Pickens. Don't get either one of them. Damn. Fuck. That time I couldn't do it. I don't want Devonta Smith there. That time I couldn't pause the clock. It just skips. Goes right to Devonta Smith. I did want Love there. It's whatever. Fuck it. Whatever. It's fine. The more I think about it, I mean, Devonta Smith sucked last year, but let's get a bounce back here. He could still be a slate breaker, guy you need week 17, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, Malachi got good pub today. I took him on a dart team. He could be the front runner for the wide receiver too. That's what I saw too, PD. So I was kind of excited about that. So I was going to take some Malachi Fields tonight because I already knew I was drafting Jackson Dart. I mean, it's too obvious. I drafted the most Jackson Dart. $18 likes, 38 watching. Don't be afraid to like the stream. When I get to 20 likes, I'm going to gift out 5 memberships to the channel. And then you can, you know, throw out some Lambos. Bang, like this, blue Lambos. Also, vote in the YouTube poll. In your home leagues or in your redraft leagues, do you prefer 10-team or 12-team? I kind of prefer 10-team for my home league because, I don't know, just the way we've been doing it. My home league's going into year 17. I think we're in, and our draft is the week before Labor Day. It's gonna be sick. We rented a big Airbnb in Dripping Springs, and it has a pool. It has a workout room. It has a game room with like pool table, ping pong, darts. It has an incredible outdoor kitchen. Like, we rented a nice ranch house for our Airbnb this year. We usually do something like that, similar Central Texas Airbnbs. We've done Wimberley, we've done Dripping Springs, we've done other parts of Austin. We've done Galveston, beach houses. We haven't done that in a long time, though. We got kind of sick of those. Back on the clock. Brian goes triple running back. Gets a good value there with Etienne Jr. Yeah, I'm going Burden here. I like him. I like Loveland. I could take either one. I could take both. I'm going to go Loveland and push Burden. I'm going to make one of them take Burden. I think they will, but I'm going to grab Loveland here. I don't always get a chance to take Loveland, and I wanted to take him earlier. He's been a slight riser. Take advantage of that. And these guys have so many receivers. I'm curious if they'll take Burden. I think they will. Yeah, obviously. Burden with Gibbs. Obvious choice. Good choice. Really good wide receiver room here. London, Pickens, and Burden. That's insane. That's fire. With Gibbs, don't mess up this team. Take a running back here. Take a running back. Yeah, Swift. Nice pick. Yeah, I love this team in the one spot. Very nice. Speaking of running backs, I need a running back here. I like Devontae and JMO so much, but I'm going to switch it up, go with some Bucky on this one. Burned us last year. Maybe it'll work this time. I've got Quinshawn, Bucky, Henderson, Tootin, Swift, Montgomery, all on a similar tier. It's a break after Etienne Jr. for me. Skydabu, Jacobs, Javonte. I'll just take Bucky on the Bucks. What's up, Lever Nucky? How we doing, brother? Yeah, drafting late at night can definitely get you some interesting teams. I would agree with that, Gap. I usually do some late night drafts, and I get some pretty interesting stuff. QJ is invisible to me, says Lever Nucky. Yeah, it makes sense why you're a QJ fan. I can see it. Yeah, there's some smart people out there who are QJ fans. There's some smart people who are not QJ fans. Good offense. I can sell myself on that alone. I'm hearing my burner account lurking and sniping, says Jeff T. You son of a bitch. Jeff T, what's the deal with what's the deal right now with Bo Hostler? Is he gonna ship it and get into the playoffs? Also, we saw Keegan Bradley made the cut to get in. Jason Day didn't make the cut to miss his first PGA playoff ever. Pretty crazy. Trey Harris is a fun stab. Tolbert's okay. I wouldn't get that excited about Tolbert other than he's free and he's underdrafted, which makes him somewhat interesting, but he's never really been a guy. I'm that far behind. Okay, I got to catch up. Yo, what's up, Ty? Shedeur Sanders, top 12 QB this year. Book it. Hey, I mean, he could be. He had that 34. Was it 34? I think it was 34.5 point game last season. It was like 30 something, 32.5. Shedeur had a big game. Could happen. I draft some Shedeur late because he's underdrafted and he's just leveraged on the field in these kind of tournaments. He's free. The Luther Bulls. Half the Luther Bulls are guys that look at yards per route run and they don't understand how many gimmick bombs, touchdowns he had on trick plays. I mean, I can do one better than that. Here's a reason to be bullish on Luther Burden. This is all of the wide receivers who had games with 100 yards and a touchdown or 90 yards and a touchdown. Luther Burden had 2 of those games on 34% or 37% snaps. Cortland Sutton had 2 on 86% snaps. So Burden playing full snaps projects to be in this kind of tier of wide receivers, literally the top tier. Also, I have it in here somewhere. We could find it later. I'm on the clock. In fantasy points per weighted opportunity, Luther Burden was number 3 after Puka and JSN. And Jamar Chase was up there, and like everyone you'd expect. Pickens. I can't go lemon this time. I take too much lemon. I'll switch up to Marv. I do need a receiver. Yeah, Luther Burden's going to smash. Luther Burden's definitely worth his price. Screen Merchant, sure. But they're going to... Ben Johnson's openly said how much he loves Luther Burden, how much he wants to get Caleb to extend more drives, be more accurate, be more efficient, more first read targets, more schemed plays. That's all Luther Burden. That's all Colston Loveland. So those guys are going to be huge parts of that offense. You know, Caleb Williams there would have been okay. I'm glad someone else takes Stevenson. It's not me every time. But I need a running back here. That's the way it goes. I'll take unsacked Burrow at 75. Gustafson wouldn't take Burrow. He took Stevenson and Lemon over Burrow. I'll take him at 75. I mean, he's not stacked, but I have nothing to lose. Couldn't get Caleb, couldn't get May. Burrow can score like them. I just don't get the stack, but he can still score a lot of points. You don't always have to have the stack. Opens up the Lemon Hurts double. Yeah, it's always there. Yeah, Shedeur, more like Shadone. But I draft a little Shedeur. Yeah, also, yeah, you get DJ Moore has those targets going to Luther, most likely. The snaps, at least. Oh, for Devonta Smith. Playoff schedule's kind of tough. But also, the Eagles are going to score an okay amount of points in the playoffs. Seattle, Houston, but they're both home games. San Francisco on the road. 22.2 implied team total for Vegas. 32nd percentile. So you're right. No, it is kind of low, but they get 2 home games. Tough defenses. You know, it's not great. The Jags have a good playoff schedule. Let's see what theirs again. Jacksonville gets Houston in Houston. That's not good. Dallas on the road is actually not great. It'd be better if it was Dallas at home, but it's still fine in the dome, still a decent total. Washington at home will be nice. So yeah, 68th percentile is that 23.6 compared to all the other fantasy playoff schedule implied team totals from the Las Vegas odds. And I haven't updated the odds yet. They're from last month, but I don't think it's really changed much. It's all directional. Chargers have a good schedule. Jason Day is also like 45. Can't stay on top forever. Also so true. Yeah, Tolbert round 20 makes a ton of sense. Should Durable Def finish top 12 QB in the AFC North? Feel good about that. Incredible. Yeah, Burden could be electric. I'm going to be bullish on Burden this year. I don't want to be left behind. Burden's the guy we could be drafting in the first or second round next year. I don't think it's that crazy. He's expensive. He's only going to get more expensive. It could be the cheapest you can ever get Burden again for the rest of his career. Just think of it that way. Rocket ship. Yeah, Gustafson was trying to push Burrow to who knows what. But I'm a known Burrow sniper in the 7th round. I'll take Lamar Jackson in the 6th round, auto click. I'll take Burrow in the 7th, auto click. I'd pass on Burrow there if I had like May or Caleb, then like I would have done it, but whatever. Maybe I should have just taken Caleb and then pushed the wide receivers. I probably still would have got Harrison. But I don't think I need Caleb for Colston Loveland to pay off. I think Burrow can beat Caleb Williams on like most weeks. Exactly. You pull up Jamar Chase and you pass on Burrow lever. Some people are just, you know, on autopilot. Not literally, but like figuratively. Okay, I need a running back. Corum's okay. Mike Wilson's sick, but of course the Mike Wilson team lines up and I've got Marvin Harrison. Fuck, dude, come on. I just need to get some running backs. The next pick, I have 99, then 118, 123. I could push it a little bit. I don't have to get my 4th running back, but I kind of want to. Otherwise, because, yeah, I mean, what are we doing here at wide receiver? I've got Burrow. I feel pretty good about that. Man, the receivers are it's just such a big drop off. It's a Dobbins team. I got Loveland. I don't need Bannon. I've got Burrow. I don't need these other QBs in this range. I could have taken one of them. I like a lot of them, obviously. Let's get different. Let's push it. Back-to-back running backs in round 8 and 9. There's always Eric All, said no one ever. I have way more Gesicki, though. I haven't been drafting Gesicki lately, but I was drafting Gesicki a lot back in like June, early July. New Orleans has an absolute cakewalk week 15 to 17. I feel like it's okay, but so the thing with New Orleans, it's a cakewalk, but they have the Bucks on the road. That's a bad matchup. They're only projected 21 points. Arizona at home's nice. They get 25 there. And Atlanta on the road is tough. They're only projected 21.5 against Atlanta. So they're 39th percentile with 22.5 average score for their offense with, points for their team across those weeks. It's pretty low. They're definitely bottom half. So the defenses, here's the defenses ranked. Tampa Bay is the 13th defense. Arizona's the 31st. Atlanta's the 27th. But it's a divisional game. It's on the road. Those things line up. It would look like they have an easy defense schedule for the Saints. The average rank of the defenses is 24th. That's like a bottom 8 average defense. But when you look at the implied total they're scoring on offense, according to Vegas, it's actually not. They're actually not very good. They're kind of the opposite because they're not going to score a lot of points. So it goes both ways. It's all directional stuff. Just trying to use information to make better decisions. Who knows? But yeah, I used to think New Orleans had that smash schedule, and then you look at what they're expected to do in terms of scoring on the offense, and it's not that great. Yeah, I know. When I have Jamar Chase, no one's pushing Burrow. People are sniping my Burrow. The T. Higgins or the Chase Brown drafter always gets Burrow when I have Chase. But when I don't have Chase, go figure. I mean, I would have had Chase on this team. Maybe I should have had Chase in the 3 spot. I could have got Burrow at 75. It's a Bijan team. Oh, well. Get different. Leverage on the field. Let's advance. Let's try to build a super team. Loveland could be really interesting. I think Loveland's more of the mystery box. They could. Their defenses could be bad. Let's see how good the Saints offense really is. And what's his name on the Falcons? Just went down for the season. Wasn't it? It was, yeah, Jalen Walker. Yeah. ACL a couple days ago. I had to Google it because the name was escaping me. I'm like, who am I thinking of right now? Jordan Mason last draft went pick 97. He goes pick 115 here. Some range. Back on the clock. Definitely could be a Baker team. I've got Bucky on this one, and I can still backstack a little bit. I need receiver, but I feel like I can push receiver. These guys have 5 receivers. So I will go Bucky here because of the tier break at QB. Then I am behind at wide receiver on this team for certain. What can I do to make up at receiver here? KC is kind of fun. Dobbs, I took last one. I take a bunch of Shakir. Higgins could make sense in this team. He's been getting some good wide receiver 2 hype. Returns. Oh, personal. I didn't see this. It is kind of a deep room in New England. That is true, though. But they're a better team. I've got A.J. Brown and Dobbs. Didn't I just do this in the last team, too? I'll go Dobbs. A.J. Brown and Dobbs. Just bet on the Patriots. It's hard for me to click Higgins. I don't click Higgins a bunch. I'm more worried about the Texans than I am the Patriots. Patriots have a really tough playoff schedule, but still, they're kind of middle of the pack. What about Houston? Still a really hard playoff schedule, and they're one of the worst offenses, so it's just tough. I mean, Shakir, I have so much Shakir because the Bills are projected the most points during the fantasy playoffs. At home, 28, almost 28 points against Chicago. On the road, Denver's the tough matchup, still projected for 24 points. And then they get Miami away, they lost to Miami last year, 30-13 in Miami, but they implied for 27.5 there as well. So they're tied with, it's them, then the Bengals and the Rams are the top scoring offenses during the playoff stretch. So Bengals, Rams, and the Bills. You should be drafting those guys on as many teams as you can, I guess. Just makes sense. The AFC South had the highest scoring divisional games on average last year. I wonder how sticky that'll be year to year, but that is interesting. The AFC South was sneaky competitive. I mean, you had the Texans and the Jags, and then the Colts were an incredible team the whole season until they shipwrecked. It was really only the Titans who were bad. Yeah, Kayshon Boutte steam is interesting. Maybe I should get less Dobbs, given that Boutte is rising so much. I don't know. Dobbs has always been pretty good, though. Just pretty good. It's a fair range in price, I would argue. Diggs here goes 106. Samuel goes 134. They've obviously steamed up the last week. Yeah, I think Shakir is an insane value at cost. I would agree with that, Levernucky. So is Omar Cooper. First round draft pick. I didn't get Nico, so I don't need Stroud on this team. And I'm good at QB, I guess. McMillan's had some bad news, right? Yeah, sidelined. Knee. Yikes. I'll just push that. I'm not going to reach up for McMillan after that news. Getting Omar Cooper in Boston's kind of fun. Double tap on the young talent. I'm going to push my QB3, I think, because I could always do Brissett, Geno, late. RB5, this is not the spot for it. QB, like I said, push it. Tight end. I'm going to push it. Go Boston here. Another team with, I've got 5 of my running backs and receivers on week 11 bye. Probably need to chill out on that for a bit. Just avoid some more week 11. Healthy Kincaid. Yeah, healthy Kincaid. I think Kincaid's a great value. I think Shakir's a great value. I'll draft both of these guys. I have a ton of Shakir, but I want to get more Kincaid. Just good offense. Both could be undervalued. Both could be big target earners. Get some positive touchdown regression would be nice. Yeah, Kincaid at the injury thing is what's scary, but he's injured until he's not, you know? That's the thing with these guys. It's like, if he can stay on the field, he could be really good. And he's pretty cheap. Cheap Kincaid. Yeah, they all go to Josh Allen legs is also true. Which is funny. That's why the Bills players are so cheap. Some people are reluctant to take James Cook. I'm not. But then all of the other Bills players are super cheap because everyone just knows it's all Josh Allen. Yeah, let's go for ceiling. Don't worry about the risk. You know that Kincaid is typically hurt. Go for ceiling. Hell yeah, 22 likes, 27 watching. If you're here, I'm about to gift 5 subs to the channel, I think. Let me figure this out. Here we go. If you're here, you're lucky. Let's see if you get it. If you're active in the chat, I think you should get it. Let's hope that someone who's not here, but just was here earlier, doesn't get one, or whatever. You know, it's random, but here goes. 5 gifted memberships to the channel. Bang. Who got them? Yeah, Petey gets one. Levernucky gets one. Willie Knows Ball. What's up, brother? Colin gets one. And Doc. Hey, everyone let's do some yellow Lambos. Throw some yellow Lambos in the chat. Let's go. We're feeling it. It's Friday night. We're trying to ship BBM. getting after it. Third draft of the night. Back on the clock. It's Marshawn Lloyd o'clock, I guess. Could be. I like Sadiq. I know he's injured. I should probably push him. I'm going to be hammering Marshawn Lloyd until he rises up a bunch. So I get him there, RB5, another bye week 11 issue going on, but whatever, man. We'll make it work. And then I'm going to push Sadiq. I love Sadiq. I have so much Sadiq. Let me see how cheap he can get. I don't want to chase him if he's falling. I don't want to try to catch a falling knife. Let it bounce first. Let the injury news get better. I've got a bunch of picks left. Yeah, 4 picks left. Let's do Otton. I've seen Otton go a lot cheaper, so I don't really care, though. It's this late. Tight end 2. Oh, shit. The week 10 bye. Bro, I'm getting killed on bye weeks today. What's going on? It's good. I could have gone Jaden Blue over Lloyd, but let's go Lloyd. I'm getting killed on the bye weeks. Everywhere I look, everywhere I turn tonight, I'm getting killed by bye weeks. Whatever. Hey! Shout out to Levernucky with some jewels. Appreciate you, good sir. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Bang, again. W. The yellow Lambos in the chat. Love to see it. Appreciate you guys for being here, for being subscribed to the channel, helping support the channel, help it grow. I'm just here to have fun, talk some ball, draft some teams. But I'll let you know what we got going on this season. I'll be doing in-season content, sit, start, waiver wire, all of the normal stuff, everything good. But until then, we are drafting teams. I'm going to be drafting some redraft teams on stream. I've got a redraft fantasy analyst league that I'm in called the Iron Throne. Hartman's in it as well. And a bunch of other guys you know and love are in it. So we got some great creators in the space. We're doing a big creator league. It's going to be sick. Draft coming up in 2 weeks. And then me and Hartman are going to do a high stakes, big gorilla managed redraft league together real soon. We got to coordinate a little bit, but it's going to be super fun. We did one last year. We got destroyed, but we'll make up for it this year. And then we'll see what else. But yeah, if you have any questions fantasy-wise, whether it's redraft, dynasty, best ball, I got you. Come get in the chat. Say what up. Become a part of the Garage community. And let's get a little bit smarter every day. Have some fun. Make some good draft picks. Draft shippers. Draft some good teams. So yeah, I have a goal to hit 2,000 subs by the end of the NFL season. I think if I go hard in season, we can do it. Maybe put some work in. Also, I have a podcast called Edge Detection. I'm trying to pump out another episode or 2 this weekend. We'll see if I can get it done. But I've got 3 episodes out right now. They're like 5 minutes long. Super short, punchy, actionable information to help you make the best picks in round 1. I got to wrap up round 1 and then move on to round 2. But I'm trying to get episodes out. It is tough. It takes a lot of work to put out those episodes, even though they're short. But so Apple Podcasts, Spotify, links in description. Go follow the pod, and I got you guys. More episodes coming soon. Dang. I wanted Brissett. He's gone. So hey, shout out. Bang, finger heart. 350 jewels from Levernucky. Appreciate that, man. Hell yeah. Ted Hurst, a little bit early. Brissett went 174. I got distracted. I went Tua last night. Maybe tonight we go 10x. Maybe he'll still be there at the last pick. tight ends suck. Freiermuth is fine. I will go Freiermuth because he's not the worst. He's kind of a tier break. If I can get one of Penix or Tua, I would appreciate that. But if not, I don't know, some random running backs. Do I throw in? So I got Baker with Bucky and Ted Hurst. That's kind of fun. Oh, dang. I went 3 straight rookie wide receivers. I am slapping it up at wide receiver tonight. I've taken 3 rookie wide receivers on literally every team. Got to stop. It's excessive. It's fun, but... So triple stacked Baker. Onslaught, the Bucks. And then otherwise, I could do Shedeur late. I have Boston. Not a whole lot of team stacking otherwise. Mayer goes to Brian. Ball knower. Wow, Brian goes Helm and Mayer his last 2 picks. He just hates tight ends. Shout out to Brian. Is Denzel Boston the incarnate of Mike Evans? Well, Mike Evans was actually good in college, is the thing. But, you know, could he be the... Could he be the Jaden Higgins of Mike Evans's? Yes. Shaduki, Sanders, and Massage Watson. Yeah. Yeah, true. This is true too. Like, if your bye weeks are that big of an issue, the team's probably not good enough anyways. I think that I do believe in that. AD Mitchell taking 3 picks before your selection. I can see your tears rolling down your face. Heartbreaking. I know, man. So close to getting him and Keaton Mitchell on this squad. I'm so blind to those 2 picks. It's insane. I'll do Penix. I took Tua last night. I'll throw in Penix. Jacoby Lane was gone. Bateman's still there, though. I'm going to trust the ranks, trust the projection, go with Penix. Maybe he does get healthy. He does take Tua's job. I don't know. Could be a 0. Might not matter this late in the draft. Bijan stack just for fun. Yeah, this team doesn't project very well. Fell behind at wide receiver. Maybe I could have passed Burrow and gotten some value there at running back or receiver. But I feel like I made the right choice in the moment. Yo, what's up, B-Fred? How we doing, brother? Did a mock draft for my home league. We pick, trade, and my mock was Caleb, Bijan, Gibbs. That's nice. Bijan and Gibbs. I mean, I'm sold. Jordan, Tyson, P-Wash, Downs, Lemon, Kraft, Godwin, Diggs, Tyrone, Dots, 14 team. Yeah, it sounds sick. I mean, if you're in a 14-team league and you have Gibbs and Bijan, you're going to win. Receivers won't matter. And they are a little bit thin. It's fun to have guys with upside like Lemon and Tyson. But P-Wash and Downs is a little bit thin. Diggs is nice, though. Diggs is a really good addition to that team. Where if, you know, Keenan Allen tanks Josh Downs, or if the rookies start slow for whatever reason and aren't playing a lot of snaps, you can get Diggs in there early. So I like that. Mock-wise, that seems fun. Didn't you hear the Sims are out on 3QB now, LOL? Are they? That's news to me. No, I'm not. I guess I didn't keep up. I've done like 3 straight 3-5-7 threes. I just can't help myself. Kyron gets injured and Corum is the bell cow and pops off for Tampa Bay week 17. Hell yeah. At least exactly. 130's Diggs going to feed families 100% too. Yeah, this team, I didn't get any Bengals. I didn't force it, but I didn't even go with like Gesicki at the end there. I have Loveland, but he's my only bear. I did an onslaught with the Bucks. I get to bring back with Corum. Otherwise, it's just kind of a team of picks. Note to self, I don't like the team when I have Devonta Smith on it. And I don't love it when I have Harrison if I have an elite tight end. So, but honestly, at the same time, Harrison's kind of a fun pick if you do go elite tight end because you're hoping to get some upside there. The wide receivers honestly have a pretty low floor. I have a shit ton of players on week 10 and week 11 bye. My phone says I have 4+ players on a week 10, week 11 bye again. So, and then I only have 2 New England pieces, Brown and Dobbs. Otherwise, no other team stacks after the Bucks. So this is a Bucks first team. I don't know. I don't love this one, honestly. It's fun getting Bijan at the 3, but I'd like this better if it was a Ja'Marr Chase team with Burrow and all this. So we tried to make it work. It's fine. Yeah, it's a big Tampa Bay team bet. I mean, Tampa Bay does have the most players drafted of any team, and potentially, like, also even more because they have 4 wide receivers. Sometimes you see Tez go, but I haven't seen Tez go in a while. He was going more earlier before Ted Hurst had all the steam. 3 running backs, 4 receivers, tight end, QB. Okay, I'm going to jump into a pit bull. How full are these things? They're moving along. Not going to do a big Elam. The Elam's getting close to full. That's pretty surprising. Not the Corgi. Little Dalmatian, I'm probably not going to enter. Puppy 3, I'm probably not going to enter. But I'm going to do a pit bull 2. And I just entered from my phone. So if you want to get in, 5 more to start on a pit bull 2. Pitbull 2 is different because it's a smaller field in the overall, obviously, than BBM, but even compared to like puppies, it's like a 5th the size or a 4th the size, technically. Yeah, 4th the size. The final is much smaller. 156 is pretty manageable. If you make it out of your 212, a 1615 is not that crazy. It's doable. 156 is nice, still 100K up top. Even 25 for 3rd, 15,000 for 5th place. So I like this tournament. I maxed the first pit bull, $20 entry, 10 max. If I could, we'll see if I can max this one too. It might close before I get a chance to max it, but I'm gonna try to do at least 5+. Yeah, Ted Hurst was getting a lot of hype pre-NFL draft. He had a lot of top 30 visits. He was like the 3rd or 4th most top 30 visits among the wide receivers. Yeah, did I bring Hurst into the sheet yet? I don't think I have Hurst on the sheet. That's who I'm missing. I need Ted Hurst on here. I need Hurst on here. I need gotta bring in Hurst. Gotta bring in I don't know. Oh. Zachariah Branch. I need Branch and Hurst in this. I have Cyrus freaking Allen, but I don't have And I think I made a comment on Malik Benson earlier tonight about him playing for A&M. He didn't play for A&M. He played for Alabama, but it was Cyrus Allen's the guy who couldn't make it at A&M. Not great. Goes to Cincinnati and is decent. Decent target share. I would say good. I would say catch rate is not even just okay. I would say it's good. I'd say it's really good, actually. I mean, maybe over his whole sample size, it gets worse. Kind of a small sample size. Catch rate good. This is a great catch rate. I do have Branch in here. I knew I did. Zachariah Branch, super high catch rate. Filled, waiting on a few more. I think 3 more for this Pitbull. We'll get right into it. I did not sleep good last night. I stayed up till past 2 a.m. And then my daughter woke up at like 2:30. So I didn't get a lot of sleep. And I was up. I slept in a little, but my workday started promptly at about 8:15. So I'd already had 2 espresso shots by 8:30. I had another one at like 3 p.m. My daughter got bored, wanted to make me coffee. She made me a whole pot of coffee at like 5 p.m. I had like a quick cup of that, and then I put the rest of it in the fridge. I'm going to ice it down tomorrow and make iced coffee with it. And then I think I'm heading out to the lake. We're going to head out to Lake LBJ tomorrow morning. Go do a lake day with the fam. Should be good. Ted Hurst is kind of like Deontay Thornton, but won't drop the ball. Let's research that. Let's go to our friendly player profiler and quickly pull up Ted Hurst and maybe add him to the sheet. I think I have room. I can make room. Ooh, Haynes King. Are we putting in waiver wire ads for Haynes King tonight? Speaking of, also 2 more to fill a pit bull. See, he doesn't have good data on Hurst, though. That's the problem. He came from Georgia State. There's not good data on him. Just a little scrape. Don't mind me. What happened? All right, it filled. Draft starting in 60 seconds. A Pitbull 2. 4th draft of the night. So we don't have data on his previous seasons, but I mean, both these seasons are pretty nice. I would call this a breakout. I'm highlighting their breakout or their best season. If they're comparable, I'll do the earlier one. I would say really good target share, but he's on a weak team, weak competition, and okay, not great catch rate. So his catch rate's not great. It's like, 55% catch rate. Actually, Dante Thornton's was probably similar. Let's go find out in college. Well, Dante Thornton's catch rate as a rookie is not going to matter because the sample size was so small. We can still get to it if this webpage will load. Yeah, no, it's actually awful catch rate. So we're never going to see Dante Thornton again. He's off. Like if you have him in Dynasty, drop him. He's not going to get you anything because he can't catch the ball. So it's unfortunate. But a 30% catch rate will not get it done. One thing I've been looking into lately, 2 of the stickiest stats is if you have a elite catch rate, you'll stay elite at catching the ball. if you've got a miserable catch rate, you'll stay miserable and you won't catch the ball. So Thornton's is miserable. He'll never be good. He'll never be able to catch a ball. In college, his catch rate was actually pretty damn good. Just tiny sample size because he never had more than 20 receptions. So wasn't that the whole joke we were saying with Dante Thornton last year? It was who had more receptions, Dante Thornton in his whole career or Jack Besh in one season? And the answer was Jack Besh had one less reception in his best season than Thornton had in his whole 4 years. Pretty sure that was the stat we were saying last year. Shouldn't have got so hyped up on Thornton. I made some mistakes. I drafted some Thornton, but mistakes were made. Couldn't this be a BBM? I finally get Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it's not a BBM. So like my Amon-Ra St. Brown exposure in BBM is terrible because I can't get lucky. I don't know what's going on. I got to start bringing up Amon-Ra over JT McCaffrey, so I just get some Amon-Ra. It's terrible. Shout out to Hartman in the 5 spot. He can't get into a pit bull without going head to head with me. That's where we're at these days. If we're ever gonna fill this thing, I don't know. Anyone else get in here? I don't see any other names we know, but let's get after it. Fourth draft of the night. Charge my headphones. I'm gonna stop the music too, so I'll take the headphones off. There we go. Woo. Man, why is it every Amon-Ra team, but never in Best Ball Mania? Amon-Ra Ken Walker's pretty fun. That's a good start. Two good offenses. Steve Smith Sr. thinks very highly of Ted Hurst. That's a good signal. 14 teams more cutthroat, says Darth Carter. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's more cutthroat. It's deep. And in snake draft, you're at the whim of the draft board to some extent for your early picks. So you can really get if you make a bad draft pick in the first or second round in a 14 team league, you get sunk quickly. Zach Branch and Ted Hurst could have been first and second round picks if Zach got used correctly and Hurst went to a D1 school. Yeah, I don't know why Hurst didn't go to a D1 school. And then with Branch, maybe they could have used him better at Georgia, but he led the SEC in receptions last year. Brazil led the SEC in yards. Branch led it in receptions. I forget who led it in targets. I could pull it up. Who was it? Zachariah Branch was receptions. Bernard was targets. I was gonna say Bernard. I gotta sleep good tonight. Yeah, I go to bed soon. Get some good sleep. Haynes King looking like prime Jake Locker out there. Hey, that's something. I'm gonna look at my dynasty leagues right now. I mean, like, should I even waiver for Haynes King? I think only one of my dynasty leagues has waivers open right now. Yeah, I mean, but to get Haynes King, you have to be a big fader of Bryce Young. Almost on the clock. Barian Brown, kind of a name to watch. Played at Kentucky, then LSU. He's getting some hype for the Saints and their practices. Ken Walker, Amon Ra. Let's do T. Higgins this time. Or I could pull up, Flowers, Olave. Let's do Olave. Lad, Kyron Javante. I like all these picks. I like a lot of these players that go at the end of the third round. It's kind of like a log jam of good players. Okay, but if I pick up Haynes King in my oldest dynasty league, I have to move Najee Harris off of injured reserve to make a transaction, and then I still have to drop somebody. I'm gonna do it. In worst case, I don't win the waiver for Haynes King, but maybe I will. Well, it's not gonna be sneaky that I'm making a waiver move because I have to drop two. I have to drop one player off the bat. It'll be obvious that I'm making a transaction. So whatever, I can put him on the taxi squad if anything. If I get him, I'll make a backup waiver just in case. Loveland goes at 40. I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs here, even over T Mac, but I like T Mac. I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs. Really solid start. Ken Walker, Josh Jacobs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave. This is a very fun start. Wish this was a BBM. Of course, I switch to the Pitbull and I get a nice draft spot and I have an insanely fun team. Go figure. Do you guys think Najee Harris plays this year? Does Najee Harris play this year? I don't know. What a crazy fallout for him. The running backs always go down fast, but that was something. I put in a $0 waiver bid for Haynes King. If I don't get him, I don't even know if there's anyone else that I'd want. Jimmy Horn, is he kind of fun? Nah. Maybe. I don't think so. I don't know. Jimmy Horn's available. Our benches are so deep with this freaking league and it's 12 team. There's nothing good on waivers. Barry and Brown. Maybe I just throw him in there. A 0 bid. If I don't get Haynes King, I'll get Barry and Brown. Look like a ball knower. Throw on the taxi squad. Could be worse. Actually, Charlie Kolar's available. So is Mitchell Evans. Could be some ball knower picks. I mean, I could just make a move for. All right, back on the clock here. I'm okay with Tootin at this price. It's been a while since I clipped Travion. Let's just believe. As RB3, it's pretty fun. Expensive Tootin. He's only gotten more expensive the whole year. This is a time box contest, though, so none of the previous ADPs matter. Yeah, Georgia State was terrible. Yeah, the Pitbull's a really nice format. I like it too. Jeremy got the worst landing spot in the world. Feel bad for him. Uh, behind DK and Michael Pittman, I think it still could be okay. He could still have a decent role as the wide receiver 3 there, and then take over the spot in time to be a wide receiver 2 for them. I think he's better in best ball for sure. Mitchell Evans or Charlie Kolar? Wild. I'm gonna go for Haynes King. Just a fun upside swing. If I don't get him, I'm gonna waiver Charlie Kolar, which I did think about doing last week, but now I had a reason to make a transaction. Yo, what's up, Broken? Let's make this pick real quick. Let's see what Broken's got going. Ooh, Jadarian Price. The rich get richer. Either him or just go Jaden Daniels. Jadarian Price. Bang. Fun start. Amon-Ra, Ken Walker, Olave, double anchor wide receiver, and then just hammering running backs. I have Ken Walker, Josh Jacobs, Bashal Toot, and Jadarian Price. Price getting steamed up a little bit. I think he could be a riser. We could be finding him in this round 5 tier. Broken says, currently in a 14-man league, and we draft late tonight. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. And I'm still getting my draft board together. We won't know where we are drafting until the hour before the draft. Where should I hope to draft? You know, I've kind of liked this back part of the board, and this is a 12-team best ball draft right here. But in a 14-team league, it's going to be nice if you can get 2 really solid picks at the back end of the first and second, like, the 1-2 turn. Because I feel like the talent is so even there in the second round. It gets a little bit thinner in 14-team leagues in the third round, in the beginning of the third round. I think in a 14-team league too, like if you're in a position to get Brock Bowers, I would do it. He could be a really, really big difference maker on that deep of a redraft setting. Could be fun, good value above replacement for Brock Bowers. But if you got to perfectly pick your draft spot, you really can't go wrong with the first 4 picks. Other than that, I'd probably aim to go. I don't hate going around pick 7 or 8 either. The only advantage of going at the end of the round would be you get to double tap. But it does feel a little bit like it's a slight disadvantage when you get to kind of around like 5 and 6. You could be really pulling up QBs there if they're not already gone. What do you guys think in the chat? If you're in a 14-team league drafting tonight, where would you hope to draft from? And what would your strategy be? Could this be the team I finally get Trevor Lawrence on tonight? Again, not a best ball mania. Go figure. Warren goes pick 55. That's pretty interesting. Nah, this guy in the 11 spot's definitely taking Trevor Lawrence at pick 83. Let's go with P. Wash, who he pulled up at 59. Didn't really pull him up. That's kind of where he goes now, but still. Bang. Jadarian reminds me of James Robinson from Jacksonville. How so? Jadarian is a first round NFL draft running back. James Robinson, who played for one of the best programs, Notre Dame. James Robinson was undrafted from Illinois State, who was slow, ran a 4.6 and was not that big. Price is big and fast. I guess he's not. He's a little bit smaller, but he's big enough and he's fast. Notre Dame. I feel like they couldn't be any more different. But let me know what. Like maybe it's a running style you're comping. Wow, Wandle at 88. That's something. Ken Walker with Mahomes, just kind of a fun team stack, and that's how I'll play it. A little bit of expensive Mahomes. It's whatever. Felt like a good time to get a QB. Wide receivers getting flat. I mean, I could if I would have taken wide receiver there, I probably would have taken Michael Wilson. So who knows if he comes back around. In a 14-person league, I just avoid the ends because 28 pick weights break between picks are brutal. Are brutal, excuse me, and also, yeah, you don't get to scoop up value there. So I guess I would agree with Darth Carter. I would like to be in the middle of the board. So I would say pick 4 could be nice. Pick 7 or 8 could be really nice. I didn't think about being on the ends and like having to wait that long. That does suck because then someone right in front of you will always scoop the value. You miss all the runs at the ends. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant. Brooks at 75. This lobby is sharp. Yeah, he's getting pulled up. He's definitely getting pulled up. If you end up there, just get your positional needs, or you'll miss the onesies. Yeah, don't push the onesies in a 14-team league. Definitely try to get an elite tight end. I would prioritize that with your first, like, get one of the first 4 tight ends. End up with McBride or Bowers or Loveland or Warren, and you'll really like your team more than if you push it and end up with one of the cobbling together one of the later tight ends and hoping they hit. I would also say don't push running back in a 14-teamer this year. Get some stud running backs early. Try to get at least one running back and one wide receiver through the first 3 rounds. So don't just go 3 straight running backs or 3 straight receivers, right? Obviously, stay balanced. Be able to take advantage of any scooping up any values. If you start like 3 straight running backs, you're going to be so tempted to go receiver with your 4th round pick. But what if a really good running back falls in the 4th round? You're going to be hamstrung to be able to take him. Wilson goes. Bummer. I could do Fannin here. I could take Worthy. I could try to push Worthy. I took Worthy earlier tonight. I'm going to go Fannin here. I think Fannin's good. Fannin. Fannin caught 72 balls last year on 107 targets. Worthy is barely more than that in 2 seasons, but whatever. Doesn't include playoffs. I mean, he was a stud during the Super Bowl. Also was garbage time, though. If Worthy's there at 113, I'll consider it. I've been in a 14-man league for 8 years now. Hammer running back early, elite tight end, and QB. Elite tight end and QB isn't as valuable. Try to target 3 running backs through the first 5 rounds. James Robinson play style, the NFL looks similar to Darian college tape. Worthy and Diggs both go. I like Bill. I don't mind Rachaad White. Gainwell's okay. I think I do go receiver here. Let's do Golden. Big upside swing. Love was already gone. The guy who took Love, instead of backstacking with Golden, he takes my Worthy. Whatever, though. I got to figure out QB2. I'll probably do some late QB2 stuff. And I could have taken Bill there. I've been trying to draft Bill all night, but on a team where I had my 4 running backs already, didn't make a whole lot of sense. In this Pitbull 2, through my first 10 picks, I've got a 1-4-4-1 build. Mahomes and Ken Walker, nice. Jacobs, Tootin, and Price, the fun running back room, very strong. Wide receivers, I'm finally out of bye week hell, although I do have 2 running backs, a receiver, and a tight end all in week 11 bye. So I've got 4 there already, but it could be worse. But Amon-Ra, Olave, Lemon, Golden, and Fannin. Where did Goff go? Goff went right before my pick, too, which is pretty infuriating, but it's fine. I don't even like taking Shuck that much. I might do it on an Olave team, but I think Shuck's pretty overvalued, overpriced. Draft Brandon Aubrey. That's a good tip from Darth Carter. Best kicker in the league. At least he plays for the Cowboys, right? So it makes sense. Miss Fannin the 120. Sometimes Fannin falls a little bit, but not in my rooms. I'll always take him. Could stop at 4 running backs. I don't know. There's some late values. We'll see. There's some shitty picks later. Yeah, what's up, Tyler? How we doing, brother? The thumbnail game's evolving. I just learn from the best, you know. Just watch a little 20-minute Lou Dog video, and here we are. Stepping up the game. Ooh, this pick. I might just go Ferguson again. Oh, Shuck's there. Whoop. Let's go. I was talking about it, then I forgot about it because he's nuked in the ranks, but Shuck makes sense with the Olave. I hate the price. It's whatever. Just pay up for the stack. Get my QB2. It's round 11. It doesn't really make a difference. The other wide receivers, tight ends, running backs in this range, super flat. So I'm happy to take my QB2 there. Yeah, we owe it, the Fannin being one of the most fun round 18 picks last year. Who do you guys think will be like a fun round 18 pick this year that we're looking back on pretty fondly? It can always be the QBs. I mean, you could have gotten Dart or Shuck in the 18th round last year. So would that be Tua this year? Tua could be the Daniel Jones of 2026. Could it be Shador? Brissett goes super late. Gino, I'm less excited about. I was drafting too much Gino for a bit there. I'd rather take some Brissett or like push it and go with Tua or Shador, like the cheaper guys. I don't think Gino gets benched, but he's just not that good for fantasy or anything. Yeah, Fannin was epic. Who's a round 18 guy that could be epic this year? I think Kenyon Sadiq could be really nice. He was priced up for a bit. The injury is scary, so I'm gonna hold off because of the injury. I mean, I don't need a running back, but I'll do it. I get Aaron Jones falling 13, 14 picks past ADP. I guess I have to do it. I kind of need a receiver there, but not that bad actually. Bang, Aaron Jones. Okay, 12 rounds, 2, 5, 4, 1. I've got pretty decent team. Really good running backs. Let's just fire off on wide receiver upside here. And I got Fannin, so I don't feel terribly behind at tight end. Kelsey ended up going pick 118. But then I wouldn't have been able to get Shuck. I would have had to take Kelsey over Golden, and I definitely needed my wide receiver 4 by the 10th round. It was getting late. Are we in on Missile yet? No. I'm going to full fade Keaton Mitchell this year. Full fade. Yeah, chuck it. Njoku's backup is what all my friends thought for Fannin. Yeah, crazy. And then he pushes Njoku out of town, which Njoku had been good for fantasy for a while, a real starting tight end. So it's kind of crazy how good Fannin was. Jolly is probably the best bet to beat Fannin this year. What's his name? Justin Jolly. I've got him in a dynasty league on my taxi. Justin Jolly out of forget his school, NC State. He's interesting. Okay target share, good catch rate, good production. Yeah, Jolly's interesting. Oh, don't do that. What the hell? Pop ups or something. He goes to the Broncos, and the Broncos need an upgraded tight end. Evan Ingram's washed, and Troutman's like a blocking tight end. So I'll show you my 18th rounder. That sounds kind of devious, Hartman. It sounds kind of wrong. You're gonna show it to me? Okay, well, let's see it. So far, Hartman's team is complete garbage, trash team, dead team. Three running backs through three rounds. That can never win. Takes an unstacked Jaden Daniels. Couldn't be me. Jaden Reed, what a reach. Alec Pierce didn't know he's hurt. Dart's a nice pick, though. The team's back alive. Casey, he's injured, don't you know? Mark Andrews is washed, even though Likely's not there anymore. And he's like 2 years removed from his career best season. Maybe not his career best, but his career most touchdowns. Conquell for the backstack. And then Spears, just a running back three on one of the worst teams. You hate to see it. At least you got Jackson Dart, though. Oh, Omar Cooper is still there. You guys are asleep at the wheel. But should I just take Juwan Johnson? No. Tight ends don't matter. Rookie upside. Two rookies, super low floor. I have Amon-Ra and Olave. They're going to hold it down. I don't need much from the rest of my receiver room. I'm going to have a running back in my flex like every single week. So I'm gonna take some swings. Yeah, what's up, Chosen? How we doing, man? Patiently waiting for the updated Spotify. I know, brother. I was talking about it earlier in the stream. I talked about it last week. I thought I might be able to get some out last week, and then we had the ship chasing meetup. So there's a 0% chance I could record anything. I'm gonna try to record a show tomorrow, and I maybe even get to record another one Sunday. So my promise to you, my brother, I will put out a new edge detection pod before Monday morning. You got my word. I'll get it done because I'm excited to get back to it. It's a lot of work, but I like doing it. I want to get back into it. It's August. Let me pump out some episodes, finish the first round, get through the second round, hopefully, and put some episodes out there. Follow my podcast, Edge Detection, on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Links in description. I've got 3 episodes out right now, and they're all from kind of like the end of May, early June. And then I moved houses, moved cities, and it's been a bunch. I've been out of town like literally every other weekend, or I've had like a huge events going on. So I've had a hard time getting back in the recording studio and pumping out the episode, but I'm excited to do it. So check it out. 5-minute episodes, information you need to know to make the best picks in your fantasy drafts in the early rounds, especially. Trey Tucker. Anytime you get Trey Tucker, it's just like, yeah, whatever. I do think he's probably number 2 in targets there, if not 3 because of Genty. So like number 3 in targets and receptions probably. Good to see you, Chosen. Hope you're doing well, brother. Happy Friday. Got any big weekend plans? Getting some drafts in? BB Chosen, notorious for being a big Ted Hurst bull. I just finished a BBM. The last draft was a BBM. I had a Buccaneers onslaught where I had Baker, I had Bucky, I had Ted Hurst, and I had Otten. You would have loved it. Gino's flaws being too aggressive downfield. Give me all the AD Mitchell. Maybe AD Mitchell, probably better in best ball. Could have some spike weeks. I'm also full fading AD Mitchell. I'm an Omar Cooper bull. Omar Cooper is just way better, catches way more balls, and we've seen enough out of AD Mitchell. He is what he is. He had a spike week last year, but he's one of the worst wide receivers in the entire league. And it hurts to say because I'm a Texas X. I love my Longhorns. You know, I want to pull for AD Mitchell. I used to watch him play in person in college. But AD Mitchell averages 3.5 fantasy points per game. That's worse than Ryan Flournoy. It's just like Malik Washington, who also is overdrafted and terrible. Averages 0.1 touchdowns per game on 33 games in his career. Averages 1.7 receptions per game. And his catch rate is an abysmal 43%. That's so low, it can never get better. Statistically, it's impossible that AD Mitchell ever learns how to catch a ball. So, big bear case there, but I've been crunching a bunch of data on that stuff lately, and he looks doomed. AD Mitchell is doomed to be terrible. And if you're looking for a spike week and just a guy who can hit one time with a big 100-yard touchdown or something, then draft literally any other player who's not 100% drafted, because you're losing leverage on the field by drafting AD Mitchell when he's 100% drafted. You could be taking any player that has the same odds of doing what he does, which is completely nothing. You could take Cooper Kupp. I wouldn't, not my first pick, but whatever. You could take upside. All these upside rookie picks are way better. They could end up being actually good. Devon Vele could definitely be a better pick than him and goes way more undrafted. Keon Coleman is the leading touchdown over the last 2 seasons. No receiver has more touchdowns for the Bills than Keon Coleman. He's going undrafted, and he's in the same draft class. In the exact same draft class where AD Mitchell's getting 3.5 fantasy points per game, you can get undrafted Keon Coleman that no one wants on a better team, the Bills. And I have to scroll all the way up. Keon is averaging 6.8 fantasy points per game, 0.3 touchdowns per game, just better in every single way. Leggett is better in every single way. He's been going undrafted, but now he's finally drafted. I rest my case. I'm back on the clock. I've taken too many receivers in a row. Do I take Brissett here? No. I could, though. Unstack Brissett. I need tight end. Let me throw Otten in there before it gets too late. Cyrus Allen. This could be a Cyrus Allen team. Do Cyrus Allen in a pit bull. That'd be kind of funny. Brissett went right after my pick, so. But no, I need a tight end too there. Marshawn Lloyd pick 181. Good price. I have Jacobs in this one, so I wasn't going to go for him, but I think you could take both Jacobs and Lloyd. Lloyd is so cheap, and the Packers are such a run-heavy team, and whoever's the RB2 is a great contingent value and might have a small standalone role, but really good. One of the best contingent roles, like we saw with Emmanuel Wilson last year. 25% Greg Dulcich. It's a lot. It's a lot of Greg Dulcich. Yeah, and Joku, Ingram both could be washed. Brutal review. Yeah, I mean, I've never stopped drafting teams. I've been going in on these players all year, so I've got some pretty deep player takes. My full fades are AD Mitchell, Keaton Mitchell, and after that, I mean, I don't really have any other big full fades, and just probably have some, circumstantial slight fades based on players' prices. But those are easily my 2 biggest fades. Oh, dude, Chosen, too kind. Way too kind. Nowhere near the best podcast ever, but I appreciate you, man. And I definitely got to get some more out soon. Bruh, we drafted 4 teams together And it hadn't been that long. It's been a few months. We drafted 4 teams together. We drafted Ted Hurst on all 4 of them. You're fucking crazy. He ends up being a great pick, but you're insane. AD Mitchell did decent last year with the Jets. Yeah, he did okay. He had like 1 good game. And the Jets drafted a tight end in the first round and a wide receiver in the first round. What do you think that says about AD Mitchell? Also, Garrett Wilson was injured. Do you think Garrett Wilson is going to be injured again? Garrett Wilson's like one of the best receivers in the league. He's just on a shitty team. So, no, there's no room for AD Mitchell because he won't earn targets. There's not enough targets to go around. And when he gets a target, he turns 1 target into less than half of a catch. So, for him to get 3 or 4 targets a week, you're talking about 1 or 2 catches per week. That's just, there's nothing there. Oh, it's so thin. Slap it up. It's a Kolar team. Let's slap it up. Charlie Kolar's this year's 18th round pick that matters. A little bit of a bring back there, but what else could I do? Vele's fine. Cyrus Allen's kind of fun. This is a 2 QB build for sure. There's no Penix or Sanders on this team that matters. I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think so. So then I definitely don't need the extra running back, and there's not really any there that I want except Vidal. James Conner. I don't know. Vele or Allen are probably kind of fun picks. They both could go, though. If they go, I might just pivot. No, I definitely don't need a running back on this team. The running backs are just so solid already. Ted Hurst, he's right there. Leggett, he's right there. I would do Vele or Cyrus Allen for the stack. Cyrus Allen seems almost too deep. 5th round, but he's an early standout. He missed most of the week. It seems almost too good to be true. Yeah. And then Vele's got competition from Darian Brown, from Bryce Lance, from Jordan Tyson. Let's slap it up. It's a pit bull. Let's go Cyrus Allen. Just slap it up. Dang. I don't think I'll take much Cyrus Allen in Best Ball Mania. Maybe I should, but I take him here. Maybe I'm more open to it now that I took him here. Again, 3 rookie wide receivers on all 4 of my drafts tonight. I have a problem. I got to stop drafting so many rookie wide receivers, but I've got a ton of Lemon, a ton of Omar Cooper. I mean, when do we ever get round 1 rookie wide receivers like at these cheap prices? Just hate the last name Mitchell. I mean, that could be part of it. I guess I'm technically full fading Evan Mitchell. Evan Mitchell, aka Mitchell Evans. I'm full fading Elijah Mitchell. I'm full fading Mitchell Trubisky. Bro, it was a good stream. We'll do it again. We'll do it again at some point. I've got a pretty ridiculous schedule right now. It's hard for me to have guests on because I just have an unpredictable schedule, and then my nights start later than others sometimes. But we'll do it again, man. I'll have you on for sure. And then what else? Oh, on Monday, I'm streaming with Jiri on his channel. So I'll be on Jiri's channel Monday. On Tuesday, I'm having Mike from Mike's Money Picks on my channel. Me and him are going to go live this Tuesday, but my son got sick early in the week. And so Tuesday night was not a good night for me. So I pushed it back to next Tuesday. And then what else? We'll see. I might go live tomorrow night and or Sunday, but I'm going to be at the lake tomorrow, so I'd be streaming from like a random setup. I might just go offline and stream on my phone and stream on my laptop, like not streaming or draft on my laptop, but not streaming. And then, but if I do, I'll probably come back Sunday and then draft Sunday night potentially on stream. Wow, JT Sanders goes. Hartman gets Caleb Douglas. That was his 18th round pick that he wanted to brag about. I like it. Caleb Douglas getting some good hype. Kind of a fun player. Let's go pop over here and look. What can we learn about Caleb Douglas, aka Caleb Douglas, out of Texas Tech? He's tall, he's fast, but can he catch a ball? No. He's got an okay catch rate. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not bad at all, really. His target share is fine. His catch rate's fine. Good touchdowns. You know, Florida and Texas Tech, two good programs. Caleb Douglas, could he be the Dolphins' wide receiver one or just a guy that matters for fantasy? I think it's totally possible. 311, sick. Sick. 311. The only pick better than 311 is 420 or 609. Let's see. Did you at least get Caleb? You just took a swing on Caleb, or did you take him with? Yeah, no, Jaden Daniels and Dart. Fun. Really good running backs, of course. Really good quarterbacks. I like the wide receiver room. I think I can get it done. If Pierce is healthy, it helps a lot. And just some fun pieces. I'm not super in on Jaden Reed. I take him sometimes, but he's one where I'm like, I don't know. I wish he was cheaper. Tight ends could be good enough. Kind of pushed it a little bit. I used to draft most of my teams with like all three late tight ends. I've started to push it a little bit higher and aim a little bit higher in tight end. Definitely a very strong start with those running backs, though. That should cover a lot of ground. 2583, nice team. Nice. My highest round 18 player exposure, I'd have to look. I don't know for sure. But who I think it would be, who I think I'm drafting the most in round 18. It was Bateman for a while. I drafted a bunch of Bernard and Hurst. It might still be Bateman. I don't know. It's a good question. I was going to put some numbers together earlier today. I was going to pull out my exposures in total and then just Best Ball Mania and then pull ADP. And then I was going to like hook up, my exposures by round and by draft by ADP and see like what that would. So I would have had the answer, but I don't know for sure right now. Yeah, but not. I'll draft some Zaire. That's for sure. Fading Missile Mitchell. 100%. Caleb Douglas moving all around the formation, getting in a great blocker, allegedly. Shout out Tex. Yeah, Tex was really high on Caleb Douglas. I remember watching him at Texas Tech. My brother and my sister both went to Tech, and so I watched a little bit of Tech football, but some years are better than other years. And I think, yeah, Caleb Douglas could be interesting. Definitely a name on the radar. Definitely a dynasty pick. I think best ball could be fun. There's a lot of rookie wide receivers. It's a pretty deep class. There's a lot of good options. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to Longhorn games. My wife is faculty at in the UT system. She works at well, actually I don't know if I want to tell y'all, but anyways, my wife works in the UT system. So we get 20% off all tickets to all sporting events. So other than that, I just have friends who go to games, and I might be able to swing tickets through them. And I've got like some people I know that have like season tickets. Hopefully I get invited, but I don't always get invited. But yeah, I'd love to go to some games. I try to go to at least a couple games a year. Now that I live here in Austin, I'll try to go to more. But my goal would be to go to 2 home games this year. Would be sick. And then if they make the playoffs, I always go to playoff games. What percentage of digs did you end up with? I have a shit ton of digs. I was drafting a bunch of digs. I can look it up on my phone real quick. I think I'm still like 20 or 22% digs. One of my most drafted players. So overall, I have 21% Diggs, but just in Best Ball Mania, I had it's a little lower. It's actually 14% Diggs because I haven't got to draft him for like the last 3 or 4 days very often, and I drafted like 10 teams in the last 3 or 4 days. So my Diggs exposure got chopped in Best Ball Mania, but I still have a ton overall. What about you, Chosen? How'd you end up with Diggs? I have a lot of Debo too. Debo and Diggs are two of my more drafted players. Feels good, man. Highest 18th round exposure is Ted. Oh, of course. Yeah, of course it's Ted. For sure, Halani. Yeah, I'm not a big Halani bro. I'm a full fade on Halani. I think I've drafted him maybe once across all tournaments. Definitely not in Best Ball Mania unless I forgot that I did that, and I wouldn't have done it on purpose very often. But no, I'm a Jadarian Price believer for sure. Got him in this draft too, and I got a good price on him. I would much rather bet on a first round rookie running back than Halani. Halani's okay. I mean, he's okay. He split some work with Genty back in the day at Boise State, but I'm not gonna get excited about Halani. Yo, what's up, Brian? GM. Good to see you. We got Schmitty. What's up, brother? Parker or Thomas Jr.? I'm leaning more Parker these days, and my goal was to draft some Trevor Lawrence and some Parker tonight. I didn't get either one. They kept on getting taken before me. I guess I would have had taken P Wash here, but I went Tootin instead. So yeah, those guys are on my target list. I need to get more P Wash. I want to get more Trevor Lawrence. And I saw Parker Washington go at pick 49 tonight. I saw him go in the early 50s. It seems like the days of P Wash in the 6th round are kind of gone. Wilson or Harrison Jr., I'm going to end up with a decent amount of exposure to both, but I currently like Michael Wilson's price better. So, and I like Michael Wilson. I was pretty bullish on him. He was my most drafted player during the pre NFL draft best ball tournaments. What about you? Are you more Parker or Thomas? And are you more Wilson or Marv? Chosen has 24% Diggs. Nice. Seahawks fan, I have a hunch it's probably bad bet. Halani's a bad bet or Price? Because you have a lot of Halani, so you probably think Price is a bad bet. I just think historically, round one running backs have extremely high hit rates. Actually, the highest hit rate of any skill position player drafted in any round. The hit rates on running backs for fantasy is the highest if they're drafted in round one. So I'm just gonna just that alone. I'll let the rest sort itself out. He's on a good team. He's replacing Ken Walker. He's looking good in practice. He's, Price will be. I think he's. You don't have to have Price to win these tournaments, but I think in Dynasty he's a fun pick. There's a lot. This is a deep receiver class. There's a lot of depth at receiver. There's so many late receivers. Douglas, we talked about. Hurst. I just took Cyrus Allen for the first time. Probably the only one who thinks T-Law might be the guy worth drafting. I can see a wide distribution of targets among the wideouts. True. I'm playing Jacksonville mostly through the running backs and mostly through Tootin. I'll take some C-Rod. I think I'm going to take some more C-Rod now with the news coming out about him being like the goal line back, the back in the red zone. And obviously Tootin's a big projection. We didn't see a lot of him last year. Didn't see much at all. My highest exposed Jag is probably Tootin, and then I probably have a little bit. I have more Jacoby Myers than either Brian Thomas or Parker Washington. I'll just take the cheaper one. But actually, the more I think about it, I forget he exists. But my most drafted Jag is definitely Travis Hunter. Better in best ball pick for sure, but he's the cheapest piece. He's a first round pick. They traded up for him, second overall. The role is going to be the same as last year. He'll mix in it wideout and cornerback when he plays at wideout, even if it's limited snaps. He's going to be highly targeted. And we saw some ceiling out of him, some spike weeks right before he got injured last year. So actually, Travis Hunter is the way I'm playing it. Go figure. It's just the cheapest one with the highest draft capital. Naked T-Law overstacked with Hunter. or stacked with Hunter cheapest. Yeah. For how much Hunter I have, I need to get more T-Law for sure. Like Jadarian, but 8% of him, 15 Helani. Oh, that's not crazy. No, that's totally fine. I don't mind that at all. Either Jags is good, and Harrison Jr. is scaring me with all of the drops. I want to get Tootin this year too. Yeah, Marvin Harrison, it never discount the opportunity for a third-year breakout, though. Like we just saw JSN have a big third-year breakout pop off. Ohio State product, super incredible, high prospect, high pedigree coming out of college. Marvin Harrison's pretty close to that. So, but different roles, different types of receivers. Can Harrison learn to catch the ball? Let's go dig into it. Let's go into the year 3 breakout. For Marvin Harrison, his career catch rate in 29 games so far, it's like 54%. So, unfortunately, no. Marvin Harrison has about a 7% chance, based on historical data for the last 20 years in the NFL, that he will ever improve his catch rate significantly, and go from being having a terrible catch rate to being in the top bucket. So right now he's in the bottom bucket of the 4 quartiles. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the bottom quartile in catch rate, and historical data in the last 20 years says he will never be in the top quartile for catch rate. So he's going to need to get it done on touchdowns, which he's kind of done. Same thing with Odunze. The exact same thing with Odunze. They're going to have to get it done with touchdowns, which is the thing that's like the least sticky and the easiest to like have negative regression. So on that note, let's pop over to Michael Wilson. I don't know the answer, but if his catch rate is really strong, and I know McBride's is, we can look at McBride too. Then I'm just going to have to play it through these guys and just start fading Marvin Harrison, which I don't want to do. I'm not going to full fade him because the year 3 breakout narrative. He can still be a guy that you want to have, and a guy that he's cheap enough that you might need to have in week 17 because he just spikes in the right time. But consistently, we'll see. So McBride and tight ends are slightly different, but a 126 over 169. He's at 75% catch rate, and he's kind of been that forever. So like he's extremely elite. Obviously, goes without saying, just broke the record for receptions among tight ends. Michael Wilson's 78 over 128 is about 61%. That's healthy. I don't think it's bucket 2. I think it's still bucket, or I don't think it's not the second from the top bucket. I think it's still bucket 3. But then 47 over 71, about a 66%. That's more borderline. That's probably in there in the bottom of bucket 2. Kind of borderline, not incredible. 38 over 58, so 65. So on his career, he's kind of like low 60s to mid 60s% catch rate. It's much better than Marvin Harrison's. There's a chance that Michael Wilson, and I mean, what was his catch rate down the stretch there when he was really popping off? Besides the fact that he had the 14th most explosive plays among all wide receivers last year, at least he was tied for it. 28th in explosive per play rating. Down the stretch, let me zoom in a little bit. What is this? Snap share, and then we can just do math on receptions and targets. 5 out of 8. That's like right at his career mark, about 63%. 5 out of 10, that's bad. 2 out of 3 is okay. 5 out of 11, that's bad. 11 out of 16, actually good. 69%, nice. 3 out of 7, that's bad. 10 out of 15, that's good. 15 out of 18, really good. 83%. That was his biggest game in terms of yardage and receptions. But his biggest fantasy game was a 2-touchdown game he had in week 14. Michael Wilson just a stud. So, I inconclusive. We got a year 3 breakout out of Michael Wilson. Can it continue? I think it should if he can continue to earn the targets. Interesting. A shit ton of air yards. 1,500 air yards. What was the best season for Marvin Harrison? His air yards were like, yeah, 1,500 as a rookie. Pretty good. Still pretty good air yards on a per game basis. Pretty close. I can't be out on either one. I'm above exposure to both the Cardinals receivers, and that's the way I'm going to play it. I just want both. 10% T Law, 34% Hunter. Wow. Someone that has more Hunter than me. It makes me feel good. I have like 20% Hunter. Size over the hand, says Smitty. 35% Parker. That's crazy. You must take Parker super early. But I mean, it looks like it's going to pay off potentially. Yeah, I think we just want pieces of the Jags offense. So that's why I'm kind of trying to play it. And usually through the cheaper pieces too. But I do want to get some more Parker Washington. And I feel like I'm good on Tootin. I've been taking a bunch of Tootin. I need to pivot back to guys like Swift, Henderson, and other players on good offenses that go in that same range and that same tier for me. Yo, what's up, MKE? Am I West Coast? No, sir. I'm Central Time Zone. I'm in Austin, Texas. So I need to get the fuck to sleep because I stayed up till like 3 a.m. last night. Stayed up till 2. I streamed late. I stayed up late after that. And then my daughter woke up at 2:30. So, brother, I gotta go to bed. I gotta get out of here. We did 3 best ball manias. We did a pit bull 2, and we talked a lot of ball, some player takes, some full fades, the best QBs in each round, the worst QBs in each round, and we talked some redraft and everything else too. Yeah, it is the weekend, but I got a bunch of plans tomorrow. I got stuff I got to get done. Appreciate y'all for being here, and thanks for drafting with me. Thanks for chilling with me. Like I said, I'm going live Monday on Jiri's channel. I'm going live Tuesday here with Mike from Mike's Money Picks, and I'm probably going to go live, I think, Sunday night. I think I'm going to take tomorrow off, draft off stream, and chill at the lake. And then I will catch y'all Sunday, if not Monday, on Jiri's channel. And I'm going to put out a new podcast episode. Make sure you're following my podcast, Edge Detection. It's brand new. Got a new episode coming out this weekend. Spotify, Apple Podcast. Check it out. Links in description. Edge Detection. Appreciate y'all. Peace out. And don't forget to draft more Michael Wilson, I guess. All right. See you.